Blue Sox baseball is back. Live from Donovan Stadium at Murnane Field, this is the Perfect Game Collegiate Baseball League. And today's matchup, the 1-1 Utica Blue Sox hosting the undefeated 2-0 Mohawk Valley Diamond Dogs. A very happy good morning, everybody. I'm Morgan Spriggs alongside Killian Heffron. It's Kids Day Out this morning, meaning all of the fans today, or at least most of them, will be elementary students and staff from around the Utica area. So this annual game is always fun, and these are two exciting teams. Utica was 5-3 against the Diamond Dogs in 2025. This is their first meeting of the year. And Killian, my first question for you is, Utica with their first win last night, what were your biggest takeaways?
Well, my biggest takeaways from that game was how Utica's hitting was able to take control. You look at that fifth inning, they recorded 5 runs, and that's something we really didn't see in their home opener against Oneonta. It's showing that the Blue Sox are being able to hit the ball, and they're able to score runs. And we knew that coming into the year, they had the offense capable of it. We just didn't quite see it in the home opener. So the fact that we saw it yesterday against Glens Falls, that's a very positive sign for the Blue Sox going forward.
And now for the Diamond Dogs, they are going to start Jack Donlin, one of the young starters for the Mohawk Valley Diamond Dogs. And it's among this pitching staff that's so young for the Diamond Dogs, and it's really going to be the ones that are going to have to carry them through the season. Talk about the youth of the staff of the Diamond Dogs.
Well, the Diamond Dogs, their pitching in particular, are very young staff. A number of these players are incoming freshmen with no collegiate stats. Donlin, and he's going to be an incoming sophomore for the University of Maine. Last year had a 6.89 ERA over 15.2 innings pitched with 16 hits allowed. But the youth of this Diamond Dogs pitching staff, I think, is going to be a very big question mark for them this year. How do they perform against collegiate talent where, in the case of the Blue Sox, you have a number of juniors and seniors coming on in? So I think the matter of experience is going to be a big thing for Mohawk Valley in this game, seeing how they can handle some of these more experienced hitters in the Blue Sox.
Now, this game is going to have the first pitch around 10 a.m. Eastern Time. Utica just got back from Glens Falls despite a game that they won. That was a late trip. They just came back, and they have to start early. Does that have any impact on the game, you think?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, you're not going to be as rested. You got a number of your hitters returning today that were playing last night, such as Xavier Smith. The fatigue is certainly going to play a part into it, but as long as Utica can play their game, get off to a fast start, and make the Diamond Dogs play catch-up, it shouldn't have that big of an impact on the Blue Sox game.
And talk about Kids Day Out. I would say about 95% of the crowd here are kids. They're children. They're going to have a lot of fun. Just so much excitement around the ballpark. I mean, it almost feels like opening day 2.0 because the excitement is there, the energy is there, and the fun is there. It's going to be a really, really fun day, Killian.
Absolutely, and there's something to be said with it being a morning game. And you know, with a lot of these kids coming out of school, a lot of them excited to be here because, for one, they get to miss school, which is always a plus for when you're in elementary.
Oh, yeah.
But also, for the Blue Sox, I mean, this is going to be probably the loudest and most electric crowd they'll play in front of this entire season. Let's see how they feed off of this environment here today and their effort to take down Mohawk Valley.
All right, well, let's take a look at the Diamond Dogs starting lineup as they will bat first. Leading off in center field is Eric Diaz. Batting second in right field is Jay Hardy. Batting third at shortstop is Brian Arias. Batting cleanup in left field is Brody Freaker. Batting fifth at second base is Nolan Colby. Batting in the sixth spot at third base is Jack Henning. Batting in the seventh spot and playing first base is Wesley Alfonso. And at DH, batting eighth, Aiden Streeter. And batting ninth is Jaden Santiago. So while the Blue Sox will have 10 hitters, they're using that extra hitter. The Diamond Dogs are not. And as we mentioned, Jack Donlin is the starting pitcher for the Diamond Dogs today.
Well, Morgan, you talk about this lineup for the Diamond Dogs. I have my eye on the leadoff hitter, Eric Diaz. Last year at Dominican University, posted a 387 average with 10 home runs and 54 RBI. He is a power hitter, and he's one of the reasons that Mohawk Valley is such a good power-hitting team. Utica's going to have to be careful around him because he can change a game with 1 or 2 big shots today.
And it'll be Trevor Bailey getting the start for the Blue Sox in game number 3. Is this the right decision for Coach Dillette, you think?
I think so. You know, Utica, they got a number of pitchers on their roster. You want to keep everybody fresh, and I think it's a good idea for them to start working around on this pitching rotation here, just seeing what they can offer to all these teams. Because, you know, it's a long season. You want to see what you have from everybody, and in the case of injuries, you want to know who's your go-to guy. So I think this is a good move here from the Blue Sox.
And my last question for you before we wrap up pregame is, the Blue Sox played really, really well last night. But talking about opening day, they played really well in some aspects. Some aspects they could have improved on in terms of how they played the game. Ended up losing, of course, to Oneonta. What is one thing you're looking to see improved from home game 1 to home game 2 for the Blue Sox this morning?
Well, I'm looking to see some of the control and the pitching improve. They had their issues with wild pitches in that home opener. If they can clean that up, there's a good chance that they would have won that game against Oneonta. So I think as long as the Blue Sox are able to keep their pitches under control today, we will be able to see their elite fielding come into play, and that elite hitting that we saw yesterday carry them through to get the victory.
It will be a really, really fun morning at Donovan Stadium at Renane Field, Kids Day Out. Everybody has a youthful glow about them, and we are going to have a lot of fun this morning. We'll come back for first pitch after this. are back here at Kids Day Out, Mohawk Valley, traveling to Utica to play the Blue Sox. And this atmosphere has just been amazing. When the lineups were read out, all the kids were stomping their feet on the metal bleachers, and it felt almost like an earthquake. So it's really, really going to be a fun day, Killian.
Yeah, and I mean, you have to wonder how intimidating this might be here from Mohawk Valley, considering, these are elementary schoolers. But still, got to be a super cool environment to play in front of. I'm sure all these players are looking forward to it, and this promises to be a great matchup between these two squads.
Eric Diaz, the center fielder, is going to lead off for the visiting Diamond Dawgs. He goes to Dominican for college and the Middletown, New York native with a 387 average in college. And he started both of the games for the Diamond Dawgs. Went 2 for 4 on May 30th against Amsterdam. 2 runs scored and 3 runs driven in, along with a home run. So he's one of the most productive hitters for Mohawk Valley, and he is leading off today.
Yeah, I'm sure Utica's going to have to have a plan here to get him out. Like you said, he's a productive hitter. He's got the power with those 10 home runs in his last college season. And so if you're Utica here, I think the biggest plan is just to make sure he does not get the opportunity to hit a long ball off of you. Don't give him anything really that he can hit, because he's got the power to do big damage, and especially later into the game, if we get into a situation where there's multiple runners on base, you might see Utica try to be a little more cautious with him coming up to the plate.
Now, Eric Diaz is a huge threat in the leadoff spot. Any other hitters that strike you as particularly threatening for Trevor Bailey and this Blue Sox staff?
I'm looking at Jack Henning here. He's certainly been one of the more interesting prospects here for Mohawk Valley. Definitely has the power. I would not be surprised here if Utica has something in mind for when they have to face against him later on.
All right, we are just about to get started. And play ball is the signal from PA announcer here at Donovan Stadium at Murnane Field, and Eric Diaz is announced, and he steps in.
Blue Sox Nation, kids in attendance, we need you to make some noise and clap it up and continue clapping to the first strikeout.
The kids in attendance, all schools from across the central New York area, really making a lot of noise, which does have a real impact on this game. Trevor Bailey, the starting pitcher, is ready. His first pitch of the game is a little high for ball 1, and we're underway. 10 a.m. started is the earliest start, at least scheduled, that we will see this season. At third base, Levine is really pulled in. That ball is flicked foul, and it goes on top of the roof. It's 1-1.
Like you said, Levine's pulled in. You have to be wondering if they're expecting him to maybe hit a short little bloop grounder out to on the third baseline.
1-1 the count. Bailey is ready. And Trevor's 1-1 is cut on and missed. Went with the breaking stuff. That snapped along the heart of the plate, and it's 1-2 on Eric Diaz. Absolutely gorgeous day. It's nothing like that rain-soaked affair where we had a rain delay on opening day. No medicine clouds, just beautiful blue skies. 1-2 pitch, Bailey is ready. He throws. And he gets a fly ball plopped into left center field, and that drops in for a base hit. And Eric Diaz reaches with a leadoff single. And now let's take a look at the Utica Blue Sox defense. We got Diaz at catcher. Wirtz had 2 errors in the opener, so he is going to be not playing at catcher. Jacobs is at first base. Fernsler at second. Flashner at short. Levine is in third. Carvelli in left. Jones in center. And Tomei in right. Here's Jake Hardy climbing in with 1 on, none out. First pitch, he waves and misses at the breaking ball, 0-1.
And you mentioned the errors, Morgan, about in the field, and that's something we didn't quite really see from Utica last year. It had the highest fielding percentage in the league.
Bailey, 1-0. Can't catch the outside of the plate. So Hardy standing in, second batter of the game, already man on. The 1-1 pitch coming from Bailey. That ball is outside, and stealing second easily with a dive is Diaz. He got a great jump, and there was no throw from the catching spot.
Yeah, it was a bit of an awkward throw there for the catcher to make. Had to reach over to actually catch the pitch, and then would have had to reset to get the throw off. So good decision not to throw that ball.
Hardy with an RBI chance already after the stolen base by Diaz. 2-1 pitch from Bailey is blocked on the breaking ball into the dirt, 3-1. So Trevor Bailey is at risk of walking the second hitter in the lineup and giving Brian Arias a great opportunity to score first for the Diamond Dogs as he bats next. 3-1 the count. Diaz inching past the second base back. He stays put. Fly ball flicked into right field. Carrying back is RJ Tomei to haul it in and make the catch. Tagging up and going to third is Eric Diaz. There's one out.
Well, Morgan, I would have to say that's probably the loudest cheer I've ever heard for a routine fly ball being caught in right field.
The kids are really going wild. I love it.
That was a great tag there by Diaz, able to wait, had his eye on the play the whole time, and then just took off. He's got the speed and easily pulled into third.
The shortstop, Brian Arias, bats with Eric Diaz at third, so a sacrifice fly or bunt could get the run home. First pitch wallop, center field, Jones moves in to his right, makes the catch, Diaz tagging up. The throw will be hopped to home plate and not in time. Diaz scores on the sacrifice fly by Brian Arias on the first pitch of the at-bat. It is 1-0 Diamond Dogs.
Now this brings up the Taco Bell strikeout man. You look back to last game, the Taco Bell strikeout man in that game struck out after everyone had left due to the rain.
Yeah, in the 9th inning, PJ Strand. Brody Freaker, if he strikes out, we got free tacos for all the kids and the teachers and everybody else. So that would be a lot of fun, a great way to start the game. So also a great way to start the game, the Mohawk Valley Diamond Dogs. They got a single followed by a stolen base, then a move up to third, and then a sacrifice fly from Brian Arias. Brody Freaker waits for the first pitch and watches it go by to the outside, ball one.
Well, Blue Sox early on here are having a bit of an issue with letting the Diamond Dogs get some contact, get the ball into the field.
1-0 coming to the sophomore outfielder from George Washington. The blue-clad Bailey delivers the pitch. Misses the spot, 2-0.
Yeah, of the pitches that are getting in the strike zone today, Mohawk Valley's doing a great job making contact, getting the ball in play. It's been an issue so far here in the top of the first.
Bailey delivers, slash to the right side and foul, out of play. 2-1. Brody Freaker, the Denville, New Jersey native at George Washington this year, a .277 batting average with 26 hits, and he's hit 2 out of the park along with 16 RBI. That ball skips to the backstop. It's 3-1. And now Freaker is in a good position. So Bailey has already taken 1 count to 3 balls, but he hasn't walked anybody yet. We'll see what happens here on this 3-1 pitch. 2 out, none on. First inning, 1-0 Mohawk Valley. Bailey delivers to the screen and out of play on a foul ball, and all the kids in the grandstands really cheering for that as that ball came right into their face. The count is now full. The kids are in full throat. Bailey's full count pitch upcoming. Here it is. Outside ball forward. Brody Freaker with a 2-out walk.
Great eye by Freaker at that at-bat. Didn't look at any in the zone. And really, in general, Mohawk Valley's had a good eye for one to hold off on the day. It's been a lot of counts that have gone 3 balls, 2 balls. And in that case there, that'll be a walk off the full count.
Nolan Colby, the second baseman, takes his turn with 1 on at first and 2 out in the top of the first inning. Sophomore infielder goes to Fairfield. First pitch, try to check his swing, and it's a called strike. 0-1. Colby at Fairfield has been known for his power. Also driven in 29 RBI. Bailey's one strike pitch is a ground ball, tapped towards second, and it gets through Fernsler into center field. Now the throw to third, safe there, and swiping second is Colby. So now Freaker is at third on the misplay. Colby moves up to second, and that will go down as an error for the second baseman, Bowden Fernsler. Make it an E4.
Yeah, it looked like that one just kind of took a weird hop at the last second he wasn't expecting. Just kind of dropped it when it bounced into him. And so now if you're Utica, all of a sudden, you're in a dangerous position because now you have Henning coming up, and I highlighted him earlier on.
Second start of the year for Jack Henning. He started on opening day against Boonville, went 1 for 4 with a run scored. The sophomore hails from Houston, Texas, and he has 2 RBI chances. Freaker leads at third, Colby's at second, 2 out. Bailey's first pitch twists inside, ball 1. So an early error for the Blue Sox, which they don't want to have since they were such a defensively sound team last year. Ball 2. Nice slide there by Diaz at home plate to prevent any wild pitch.
We saw back in home opener, they only had 1 error, which came in the 7th inning. So a bit unusual of them to start out the game like this.
Bailey ready. He's set, glove at the belt, 2-ball pitch. Misses high, and there's ball 3. And so now, really interesting spot for Bailey, because if he tries to throw a strike and hits it right down the middle, that's dead red for Jack Henning to wallop one out of here. On this 3-0, that's right down the middle, and Henning doesn't swing, perhaps seeking ball 4 and a walk to first. Instead, he's still at home in a 3-1 count now. Fernsler's playing on the grass. Flashner's deep at short, but not on the grass, and there's ball 4. So Bailey has loaded up the sacks. 3 ducks on the pond here in the first inning. And despite the bases loaded, Killian just 1 more out here. If he can retire Wesley Alfonso, it's just a 1-0 game. But disaster could come if Alfonso makes some big contact.
Yeah, I wouldn't be too shocked here to see Alfonso just swing, try to get this ball in play, maybe hope Utica drops it or commits another error. But obviously, we know they're a dangerous team. They've got a lot of power.
First pitch way high. Alfonso has to duck away, and Bailey is going to have a mound visit with Levine and Flashner, the third baseman and shortstop. To remind you, Freaker is at third, Colby is at second base, and Henning is at first.
Well, you look at Alfonso in his last outing, went 0 for 3, 2 RBI, 2 strikeouts, and a sacrifice fly and an error. So was not certainly his best outing, but I mean, what a position this would be for him to really get that momentum back.
3 black shirts on base. The one at the plate is in a 1-0 count. The pitch to Alfonso is taken on the corner for strike 1. The kids here really want to celebrate, and out 3 to keep this game 1-0 would be a solid choice. Celebrate and give the Blue Sox a chance to come back. One pitch. Line drive foul back to the screen. So now 1-2, and Trevor Bailey has a big opportunity here. The bases are loaded. There is 2 out in the first inning. Mohawk Valley leads by 1, but they're threatening to get more. 1-2 pitch. Outside, sliding there, Diaz. So it's now 2-2 the count with 2 away. The drama is high, and it's just the first inning. Here on a beautiful morning in Utica. Bailey wants to get out of the first with just 1 run allowed. Can he do it on this 2-2? Not there. There's ball 3, and so now with the bases full, the count obliges. That's full as well. Three-2 pitch coming from Trevor Bailey. Biggest one of his day so far. Runners take off. The offering is swung on and missed. Struck him out. Down goes Wesley Alfonso to the cheers of the kids. So, after 1/2 of an inning, Mohawk Valley gets one next here on Kids Day Out. We're back here on Kids Day Out, bottom of the first. Blue Sox trail the Diamond Dogs 1-0. And let's take a look at Doug Dillette's Blue Sox lineup. Utica sitting at 1-1. They have Michael Flashner leading off at shortstop. RJ Tomei in right batting second. Xavier Smith is the extra hitter. He bats third. Bowden Fernsler bats cleanup. He's at second. Justin Levine bats fifth. He is at third base. Carvelli is in left. He bats sixth. Alex Jacobs bats seventh. He's at first. Johnston, the designated hitter, bats eighth. Adrian Diaz is at catcher today. He bats ninth. And Connor Jones, the center fielder, bats 10th. Against Jack Donlin, as we previewed in our pregame, the Mohawk Valley starting pitcher from Maine.
I got my eye here on RJ Tomei and Xavier Smith, the two returners from last season for Utica. Both of them were big contributors last year. They've already got a couple hits on the year so far. I'd keep my eye out for them today if I were Mohawk Valley.
Michael Flashner is coming off of his best game of the season at Glens Falls last night. He went 2 for 5, a run scored. He also stole 2 bases, so leading up to his name of Flash. I'm sure Coach Dillette wants him to get on base and try and steal a bag or two. Donlin on the mound and ready for his first pitch. And it's a bunt to the right of the mound. Donlin underhands to first in time for out number 1. So the bunt attempt leads to the first man retired. And let's take a look at the defense for the Mohawk Valley Diamond Dogs. Santiago is catching for Donlin. Alfonso is at first. Colby at second. Arias at short. Henning is at third. Freaker in left field. Diaz is in center. And Hardy is in right. Now RJ Tomei. Take strike 1. The right fielder making his first home start of the season. It is already 0-2 on Tomei. At Glens Falls at his first start of the year last night. He went 1 for 4 with a walk. That ball squeaks in for ball number 1 from Donlin.
And Donlin's going with heat against Tomei here. Going a lot of fastballs.
Swing and a miss struck him out. Tomei is retired. First strikeout for Donlin. 2 away in the bottom of the first. Here's Xavier Smith, the extra hitter from Lewistown, PA. He walked twice and scored twice last night against Glens Falls. First pitch is outside into the glove of Santiago. 1 ball and no strikes. The infield is playing deep, outfield straight away. Ball 2 as that one misses the outside edge. So a favorable count for Xavier Smith, the extra hitter. 2-ball pitch from Donlin. And that ball squeaks past the mound to shortstop, picked up by Arias, who fires over, not in time. And Smith reaches first base. He beats out an infield single.
You know, Morgan, I think the throw might have gotten there, but Alfonso stepped off the bag.
Yeah, he did. I couldn't see it from my vantage point, but that's what the umpire said exactly right. So that was the problem, is Alfonso did not get on the bag enough.
So it looks like they ruled an error. I'm guessing E3.
Foden Fernsler takes a strike. His first at bat of the game. He committed an error at second base in the top of the frame. Smith leads off first base. 2 out in the first. And a throw over to Alfonso, keeping Smith honest, but no real pickoff attempt. Just trying to keep him stuck to the bag, which he is for this moment. The kids croon, "Somebody's watching me." And we got an 0-1. Roller, third base, heading, picks it up, fires over to first in time. Utica strands 1 and did not score. We are 3-1 inning, 1-0 Mohawk Valley here on Kids Day Out. To the top of the second we go. Mohawk Valley leads Utica 1-0 on Kids Day Out. And Killian, what have you seen of this atmosphere early on with all the children in attendance?
Well, the atmosphere has certainly been the most electric we've seen between opening day here and Kids Day Out, and I wouldn't be surprised if it stays that way for the rest of the year. But you have to wonder how that kind of affects the pitchers, if it will get in their heads a little bit for both sides and start causing them to be a little less accurate, maybe throw a wild pitch here and there. So I think if you're the Blue Sox here, you got to keep in mind, okay, they're behind you, but you also, they might be slightly unintentionally against you in terms of messing you up in your mentality. So Utica's just going to have to stay focused here and try to get through this inning because they had their troubles in the top of the first with base runners.
8-9-1 coming up for the leading Diamond Dogs with Aiden Streeter, Jaden Santiago, and then the leadoff hitter Eric Diaz. Previewing Aiden Streeter a little bit, he is a junior from American International College. The Scotia, New York native, batted .240 at college this year and 125 at-bats and drove in 19 runs. And Wesley Alfonso striking out to end the top of the first was a huge blessing, I'm sure, for Trevor Bailey because he's stranded 3 runners and just allowed that one on that sac fly. So this game's still well in reach for the Blue Sox early. Streeter plants both feet in the chalk batter's box and waits for the first pitch from Bailey. Here it comes, zipping towards home plate, and he fires it outside 1-0. Bailey ready, glove at the belt, 1-ball pitch. That misses the spot as well to Diaz, the catcher. So early on, Bailey trying to avoid any control issues that may plague his outing. Just walked 1 in the first. That's a fastball snapped in for strike 1. Nice response pitch from Bailey after the first 2 pitches went awry. Two balls, 1 strike, the pitch. A little bit high. That looked to be a good pitch from here, but home plate umpire says ball 3. Bailey's not getting the benefit of the doubt. So a favorable count for Streeter. The 3-1 is in the inside corner, strike 2. Second straight batter, a full count for Bailey.
Haven't seen Utica do too much in terms of throwing it inside today, but that's 2 consecutive pitches that have gone inside.
3-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Struck him out. Back-to-back strikeouts for Trevor Bailey. And there's 1 down in the second. The catcher, Jaden Santiago, takes his first at-bat of the game. Santiago looking for his first hit since the opener. He went 0 for 5 with an error committed in Game 2 of the season, though the Diamond Dogs won, of course. First pitch is curved on the outside corner for strike 1. So Bailey seems to get a little bit of his mojo back, starting off with a first pitch thrown strike. We'll see how he finishes this AB, though. Nothing in 1, and the offering is a fly ball into right, foul territory. Diaz takes off the mask and watches it go over the grandstands to the right. 0-2.
Well, it's a good sign here for the Blue Sox that they're starting to be able to get into these situations where they can strike these batters out. We saw that they had issues with that back in the first. See how they continue to use that.
No balls and 2 strikes. Bailey stares in at home. Delivers. Swing and a miss. Struck him out. Back-to-back Ks in the second and 3 straight overall for Bailey. And there is 2 away in the top of the second.
So now this will be the second time around in the order. And if you're Diaz, last time got a single, maybe not quite the power he wanted on that hit, but still was able to make contact off of Bailey. So let's see how Bailey attacks him this time around.
Trevor Bailey is feeling it. 3 strikeouts overall. They've come consecutively. First pitch of this at-bat is a wave and a miss on the curve. It's been a good stretch for Bailey. See if he can finish off the second unblemished. Levine is way in at third. In fact, he's almost playing like a shortstop. He's way deep. 0-1 to the other batter's box, 1-1.
And we saw them play this identically at the leadoff spot in the first inning, with Levine coming in here against Diaz.
But Diaz hit it to the right side, so that didn't really factor in. 1-1. Blocked in front by Diaz, ball 2. There's a light breeze, but it's not overpowering. The sun is peeking out just a bit. Still a beautiful morning. 2-1 pitch. Is a fly to center. Jones moves back, turns around, and hauls in out number 3 to the cheers of the kids. 1-2-3 inning for Trevor Bailey. We're through 1.5, 1-0 Mohawk Valley. We're back here for the bottom of the second inning, and with Trevor Bailey finding a groove, Jack Donlin comes back after his first inning that was scoreless.
Utica got a bit lucky there that they didn't end up with a 1-2-3 inning following the error. So definitely hoping they can make some more significant contacts here. They struck out once and grounded out twice back in that first inning.
Staten Island's own Justin Levine leads off in the second against Donlin. First pitch snapped in, strike number 1. Oh, 1 is driven to right, away foul, out onto the grass behind the PA box. 3 hits in 5 at-bats at Glens Falls last night for Justin Levine. He had 2 RBI. So a really good day for him. He tries to parlay that into game number 3. Ball number 1. So the count's now 1-2. Donlin attempts to retire him here, and there's a fly into left center field. That drops in for a base hit. Taking the turn and going to second. Levine dives in, reaches second base with a double to lead off the frame.
That was great effort there shown by Levine. He sprinted through first, had no intention of stopping, and just flew right to second. Good slide in, the throw slightly offline, so not really tested in that regard, but that is a great showing there from Levine, and he will look to continue that as we go. Recorded 3 hits yesterday as well, so he's certainly hot.
Here comes Robbie Carvelli. He eyes his first hit of the year, went 0 for 4 on the opener. First pitch from Donlin. Bunt shown, and it's ball 1. Levine on at second. Carvelli is the hitter. The infield is all deep except for Arias at short. One ball and no strikes. Another bunt attempt. That's pushed to the right side and foul. So the first bunt was pulled back after it was ball 1. The second one is foul to the right side. See if Levine can square it and push a bunt down to begin. Seems like small ball is on the minds of Utica as Bowden Fernsler led off the game with a bunt attempt but got thrown out at first by Donlin. 1-1. That missed the spot on the fastball high. 2-1.
We're starting to see Donlin here lose a bit of control. He's not as crisp and concise as he was there in the first inning. See how Utica can take advantage of this.
2 balls and 1 strike, and there's a cut and a miss. 2-2. That was a big pitch there for Donlin to make a strikeout situation come into play. Levine is off the bag at second. He doubled to lead off the bottom of the second inning. Donlin checks him, fires home. Hopper into right field, gets by Alfonso and Colby as well. Rounding third and scoring is Levine to the cheer of the kids. It's a 1-1 ball game on an RBI single from Carvelli. His first hit of the year yields a run.
Well, that one got through 2 infielders there from Mohawk Valley. Someone's got to be able to pick that ball up. Can't let that roll through and get into the outfield. It's a costly mistake.
The ball, I believe, touched both Alfonso and Colby's gloves, or at least they both made valiant attempts. Alex Jacobs is now the batter. First pitch hits him on the back, and that's a hit by pitch. So everything's unraveling here for Donlin. He's allowed a run, and now he has first and second with still nobody away.
Well, like we said earlier, Donlin looked like he was starting to lose that control, lose that power a little bit, and it's continuing now. Utica is doing a great job taking advantage of it. He got 2 straight hits and a hit by pitch. And now you got Johnston coming up in the DH spot. I would not be surprised here if Johnston takes a couple swings at it, but you also look in the left center field, there's a big gap there in the outfielder, so maybe try to paint one there, get one to drop.
Here comes Andrew Johnston. He shows bunt, and he lays it down, picked there, and the throw to third is in time to get the lead runner. And there is One away. That's a curious decision to bunt with first and second and not out.
That was a great job by Alfonso. They're recognizing it, creeping all the way in, picking up the bunt, and a perfect throw to third base. That's a great job reading the play there by Alfonso. And this will bring up Diaz.
The bunt was clearly called by the coaching staff, but Alfonso played it better as he came all the way from first and made a bullet throw to third. First pitch to Diaz, sinks low, ball one. So I think the bunt decision was maybe interesting at that moment, but what was even better was the defense at first by Alfonso.
Yeah, absolutely. And Alfonso, he's got that vision.
One ball pitch. That misses low again, 2-0.
And we've seen it throughout this game with all the infielders really from Mohawk Valley. They're not afraid to play in, play out. They'll move around. And even the outfield, too. You still got that gap in left center between the outfielders, just daring them to hit it there.
That ball gets off the glove of Santiago. That's going to be a wild pitch, and it's now second and third in a 3-0 count. So, just to remind you who's on base, Carvelli is at third and Jacobs, or make that Jacobs at third and Johnston at second. Diaz is the hitter. Carvelli was just thrown out at third on the bunt attempt. 3-ball pitch to Diaz. Ball, and that will be strike one. Connor Jones is on deck. The kids here growing loud with anticipation at Utica possibly taking their first lead of the game. They've got 2 runners in scoring position, second and third occupied with just 1 away in the second. 3-1 pitch is swung on and missed. There's strike 2.
And Morgan, I'm a bit surprised the grandstand is able to take all the kids stopping on
I mean,
it.
it's crazy. You can hear the metal clanging all around. 3-2 to Diaz. Roller, first base, Alfonso steps at home for the out. That's a ground ball out and a run scored for the Blue Sox. They take a 2-1 lead.
I mean, it'll work. It gets the run in. That's what Utica needs. Just get runs in no matter how you can. You still got a runner now on third that was able to advance. And Jones here have an opportunity to send him home and make this a 3-1 game.
Here comes Connor Jones. He takes ball 1 from Donlin. The 1-0 pitch is nubbed on the ground. Alfonso picks it up, takes it to first for the out, and that retires the side and ends the inning. But the Blue Sox take the lead. We're through 2 innings, 2-1. third inning for the Blue Sox and the Diamond Dogs, with Utica leading 2-1. And there's a new pitcher for the Blue Sox. It's Cameron Kobayashi, the 6'1" sophomore, hails from Honolulu, Hawaii. And his father played baseball at Hawaii Pacific, so he's got baseball in his blood.
One of the several players here for Utica that is not from this kind of northeastern region of the U.S. They have a number of them. He's certainly from the farthest away, out of Hawaii.
Kobayashi replacing Bailey, and his first pitch is pumped in there for ball 1. Is outside again.
Is it Hardy? Is it Hardy?
Smoked into center field for a base hit. So Jake Hardy with a base hit to center field, and now Brian Arias takes his turn.
Arias drove in a run back in the first inning, sacrifice fly out to center, and that was a deep fly ball too that he hit. Made Jones take a number of steps back.
First pitch is a called strike to Arias. One of the most consistent hitters in the lineup for the Diamond Dogs. That ball is low, and a stolen base easily for Jake Hardy as he slides in towards the second base pillow. Yet another steal for the Diamond Dogs. That's their second of the game.
And both times have come really without any form of pressure from Utica in terms of the throws back in.
Called strike 2. I think Diaz just doesn't want to throw it into center field when committed error and leading to more calamity than already happened with just a stolen base. Count 1-2, Kobayashi peering into home. Check second, Hardy's there, stays put, 1-2, misses the spot outside, and that is now 2-2. Kobayashi, second pitcher of the game for the Blue Sox. Straightens up, eyes the runner, deals a 2-2, high, ball 3. So Kobayashi is at risk of putting 2 on with none away if he throws ball 4 here. Three-two pitch. And swung on and missed. Throw down to first by Diaz completes the K, and there is 1 down.
That's the fourth strikeout on the day between the two pitchers, Bailey and Kobayashi, we've seen so far.
Again, correctly, if you're talking about game action, ladies and gentlemen, every point of this game, everyone in the 10th place on the green.
Brody Freaker is in the batter's box. If he strikes out swinging, free tacos for everybody. Hardy is at second, 1 away in the top of the third. Kobayashi spins towards second, but does not throw over. First pitch. He's into the dirt near home plate, ball 1. Brody Streaker. RBI chance as Hardy stands at second base. 1 ball pitch from Kobayashi is swung on and missed. Strike 1. That nice curveball got Streaker to swing early.
Yeah, there's been good motion on some of these pitches from Kobayashi so far.
Brody Freaker is the hitter. One pitch coming from Kobayashi. Freaker ready. Here it comes. Off the end of the bat and tail to the right side and into the bleachers. Foul ball, strike 2.
All right, got 2 strikes.
Freaker was involved in a long at-bat back in the first inning. Ended up walking on a full count.
If Freaker strikes out swinging, it's tacos for everybody. Kobayashi wants to grant that wish. Can he do it right here? And that pitch hits Freaker, on the wrist, and that is a hit by pitch. So, much to the disappointment of the kids, it's now first and second. 1 out, no tacos.
Well, I'm sure they'll get another opportunity. I mean, we're in the 3rd inning. It's the second time around the order, and we've seen some lengthier size for Mohawk Valley, particularly the top of the first comes to mind. So certainly I'm sure this won't be their last chance to get free tacos on the day.
Here is Nolan Colby. Artie at second, Freaker at first. First pitch, clinks off the equipment of Diaz, throw over to third, not in time, and so both runners move up.
So that one hit the butt end of the bat there of Colby. Bounced down to the dirt. I initially thought that hit him, but...
Yeah, well, they couldn't have ruled it a foul ball because then the runners couldn't go. So I'm pretty sure it hit the mask of Diaz or something along those lines. So now, second and third with 1 away. There's ball 2. Kobayashi's going to try and keep it together here. Hardy at third, Freaker at second. 1 out, top 3, the pitch. On the ground, second base, throw home, the tag, safe. Hardy slides in safely with a second run for the Diamond Dogs, and we are tied. That is an infield hit and an RBI for Nolan Colby. Fernsler came home with the throw, and it was just a little bit late and a nice slide by Hardy, and we're tied. Moving up to third as well on the play is Freaker. Colby is the runner at first. And here is Jack Henning. Pickoff attempt first base, not in time. So we are knotted at 2. Good game here this morning on Kids Day Out. Another pickoff attempt over to first, and Colby dives in safely. Brody Frecker is at third. Colby is at first. Ball 1. One-0 pitch is walloped into center. Crashing in is Carvelli. He hauls it in. Throw comes all the way to Diaz at home. That prevents Frecker from trying to score. And there's now 2 out.
Well, just didn't get that one deep enough to allow the Freaker at third to tag. And you look back to the first inning. Frecker. But you look back to that first inning, he got stranded on third, so I'm sure he's looking to not have that happen to him again.
First and third, now 2 away. The hitter is Alfonso. He struck out last time up swinging with the bases loaded. He takes a strike. Oh, 0-1 the count. Kobayashi deals. Runner takes off from second, and Colby steals home. Now Frecker tries to take home, and he is tagged out by Diaz to end the inning. Colby tried stealing second, which he did successfully, baiting a throw over, but Frecker couldn't get home in time. So we are through 2.5 innings. It's a 2-2 score. Donlin stays on the mound in the bottom of the third, and the lineup turns over to the top with Michael Flashner batting in a 2-2 game. Wind picking up a little bit of steam here at Donovan Stadium. First pitch in on the hands. Foul ball towards the Utica dugout. So the Diamond Dogs picked up a run in the top of the third. Evening up this game. Strike two right down the middle to Flashner. Comes the 0-2. Off the end of the bat, backhand at short. Arias hops it over, not in time. The speed of Flashner pays dividends. He beats out an infield single.
Couldn't beat it out on the bunt there back in the first, but that time bought himself just enough time to get in there. And you know, with his speed, it's going to be hard to catch him. It had to be a perfect throw. It was just a little slow.
Here comes R.J. Tomei to hit, with the go-ahead run on base here in the third in the form of Flashner, and he's known to steal. See if he takes off here on the first pitch. Donlin's well aware of that. He holds. Ball one, just a tad high on the borderline pitch. Tomei's one of the most rock-solid players in the lineup for this Blue Sox squad, a team with a lot of offensive talent. He's among them. The 1-0 pitch is slowly hit and foul to the third base side, as Donlin sprung off the mound quickly, but just went to the left of the chalk line.
Morgan, I think he would have beat out that throw if that one had stayed fair. So certainly he might be wishing that that one just stayed a little to the right, because he would have beaten out that throw, I think.
Flashner at first. Tomei at the dish. 1-1 pitch. Foul to the left. 1-2. Here on Kids Day Out. So many students here packing Donovan Stadium at Murnane Field. 1-2 coming from Donlin. Tomei takes it low. Count even, 2-2.
And Tomei, you said he's one of the bigger contributors. He led the Blue Sox in home runs last year with 3. In the league of deep ballparks, that's certainly a big accomplishment.
The 2-2 pitch is cut on and missed by Tomei for the K. One out as Donlin disposes of the second hitter in the lineup. Here was Xavier Smith, the extra hitter. Flashner still put at first. That ball is launched into left. That drifts off into the bullpen. No balls and 1 strike to the EH, the X-Man. A 1-1 from Donlin. That ball gets away from Santiago on the wild offering. Flashner takes second, and he takes a wide turn past the bag, possibly thinking about 3, but Santiago picked it up pretty quickly enough.
Flashner there had his eye on Santiago the whole time. He looked like if that ball maybe just slightly got mishandled, he would have taken off. He had full momentum, but definitely a good decision there to stay at second, not risk going for the extra base.
1-1 the count, with 1 away and 1 on. Flashner at second in a tie game. Ball 2 to Tomei. Excuse me, to Smith. Pardon me. Xavier Smith, the hitter. The count is 2-1 in his favor. Donlin eyes second. Throws home. That is strike 2 on the outside corner to even up the count, 2 balls and 2 strikes. So Smith is hitting, and Bowden Fernsler is waiting on deck. And then it would be Levine hitting next. Two and 2. To third base, played nicely by Henning, and he guns it over to first for the ground out. 2 away in the third.
Number 8, Fernsler. It's Fernsler getting out the line of seniors for BK Fly Guy. Everyone attends goes over the boot box for free fries, courtesy of Burger King.
French fries would be the gift for the kids if Bowden Fernsler can get an RBI, and he has a decent chance of that with Flashner at second base. 2 away, bottom 3 in a tie game. First pitch from Donlin is swung on and missed on the breaking ball, 0-1.
And Donlin was able to make contact, or excuse me, Fernsler was able to make contact back in the first inning on Donlin, ended up grounding out, but shows that he's been able to get the bat on the ball, and now he's got to get it into play into a position that could advance the runners.
0-1 to third. Henning plays it again and tosses it over to first for out number 3. That strands 1 runner. We are through 3 innings. 2-2 is our score.
We welcome you back here as the Blue Sox move on to defense. No runs recorded there in the side from Utica, so Mohawk Valley will start us off. We're looking at Wesley Alfonso here, struck. I assume you're looking at Streeter. That one is hit deep, but it will be caught in right field there by R.J. Tomei to record the first out.
And I want to make note of what's going on in our stands. Pretty much all of the kids are lining up to get autographs right now. It's really a fan atmosphere. What? I don't know.
I couldn't hear what Tim said.
Just keep it going.
So the 0-1. And that one is chopped sharply to third. Fielded cleanly. The throw the first is in time. And so the 5-3 ground out. And so two batters up, two retired pretty quickly. And now Utica opportunity here for the 1-2-3 inning. This will bring up Santiago. So Alfonso and Streeter both retired. And now Santiago, who struck out back in the second here, comes up to face off against Bayashi. The leadoff pitch is in there for a called strike. Now Santiago, a 3-pitch strikeout there back in the second. Hasn't been given too many offerings outside the zone on the day. The 0-1. And he looks at that one inside and takes his first ball in this ball game.
Kobayashi would love a really quick inning here, Killian, and just get it back to the lineup to do some damage.
And absolutely, I mean, Kobayashi, we saw as that one's going to get away there from the catcher Diaz, but we saw Kobayashi back in that last inning. He started off strong and then was able to finish things out after a little bit of issues with a hit by pitch and a single, but as that one's down, the dirt nearly jumps away. So now it's a 3-1 now to Santiago. Looking to reach base for the first time in this game. The pitch is called there for strike 2. And now full count here to Santiago. Second time today that Kobayashi has had a full count. The pitch is swung on, fouled back, and up and into the grass on the first base side.
I see a fan on the right side bleachers just saw that foul ball and he's racing to go get it.
Free souvenir. As the offering there is high and inside, so it was a battle, but that one will turn into a walk for Kobayashi. Santiago will make his way into first. First walk given out on the day by Kobayashi. And this will bring us back to the top of the order and Eric Diaz. And Diaz has singled and flew out on the day, scored a run, and stole a base.
Eric Diaz is not a kind of hitter when you want to get that last out of the inning. He's really hard to retire.
And you'd imagine they're going to have to try to maybe give him some offerings outside the zone, trying to make him chase. Just don't let him get anything in that sweet spot. Because like we said, 10 home runs in his last collegiate season. He has a big bat. As he swings at that one, fouls it off. And it'll land in the parking lot. About 15 kids all rush to get that one. So 2 hits on the day so far for Mohawk Valley. 2 runs, game knotted up at 2. As that one is swung on and fouled back again and clinks off the top of the bleachers and into the Blue Sox clubhouse.
And Jaden Santiago had that base stolen without a doubt. If that wasn't foul, he would have easily swiped that one. So Kobayashi gets a little bit of luck that there's not a runner in scoring position here.
So the 1-2 is high and outside, and so easily taking second will be Santiago. And so the runner will advance, and it'll become 2-2.
That's the second time this inning where Diaz has had the pitch go high, and instead of catching it in the heart of his mitt, the glove was a little bit low, and so it went off the top into the backstop. The first time there was nobody on base. This time there is, and so it's costly.
So now 2-2 here for Kobayashi. Diaz in a good spot, has made good contact on this at bat, just hasn't been able to get it in play quite yet. Here's the delivery, and that one's inside, nearly hit Diaz.
Now that was a nice play by Diaz. He slid towards the inside and absorbed some contact on a ball that easily could have gotten through the wicket, so he really atoned for that mistake there. Made a nice play.
Diaz and Diaz currently at the plate. Diaz catching for the Blue Sox, Diaz hitting for Mohawk Valley. The pitch, and Diaz swings at that one, pops it up into shallow center. Drifting on in is Jones. He will make the catch to retire to side. So no runs will be scored that time by Mohawk Valley. It remains 2-2. We'll step aside for a moment. Don't go anywhere. We're back here for the bottom of the fourth. Utica will lead off with Justin Levine, but the Blue Sox and the Mohawk Valley Diamond Dogs currently tied at 2 through 3.5 innings of play here as we head to the bottom of the fourth. New pitcher in for Mohawk Valley, it is Carter Barth. And Morgan, what do you expect here from Utica as we enter these middle innings from them trying to get runs back on the board?
Well, Carter Barth is another young pitcher. He hasn't played much at Brown, and so I would think that these Blue Sox, they want to kind of break out of their shell a little bit with only 2 runs on the board and really kind of ambush Barth early in this game. Swing on counts early in those counts early on.
So here's Justin Levine. So far in this game, he doubled and scored a run. So it's been a solid outing for him so far in his one at-bat. Now facing a new pitcher in Barth. So we'll see what Levine's able to do against him. Blue Sox with 3 hits on the day. Mohawk Valley with 2, each team with an error. And Levine will step into the batter's box here as the lefty faces off against the righty pitcher. Or excuse me, the righty faces off against the righty. So the leadoff pitch is in the dirt for a ball, 1-0. One to Levine. He swings at that one, pops that one up high into right field. Drifting over is Hardy, and he makes the catch to retire Levine. So Levine flies out to right his second time up.
Number 62, Robbie Carvelli.
This will bring up Robbie Carvelli. He singled and got stranded at third. Or, excuse me, he got caught out at third on a fielder's choice, so back in the first. Or excuse me, in the second. So Carvelli 1 for 1 on the day. Looking to become the first runner on base for the Blue Sox here in the bottom of the fourth. He takes the first pitch, high ball 1. Here's the 1-0 to Carvelli. And he watches that one outside, 2-0.
There's several Blue Sox players that have come up from the dugout into the stands to give autographs, and it's just really fun to see all the kids so proud that they're interacting with these players and having a great time.
As Carvelli watches a strike down the outside edge for a strike 1, but like you said, Morgan, I mean, tons of kids here, obviously. Really big opportunity for the Blue Sox to do outreach and give back to the community, and it's a great way for them to do it here, just sending some players up, getting autographs, as that pitch was low, 3-1. Now to Carvelli. So Carvelli looking to get on base for the second time today. And he watches that one inside, nearly clipped him, but he will reach on the walk. And this brings up Alex Jacobs. He got hit by a pitch and scored back in the second.
First baseman, number 16, Alex Jacobs.
So Jacobs 0 for 0 on the day. Infield moves slightly in on the corners. First pitch is taken for a strike. Here's the 0-1. And Jacobs grounds that one to second. Opportunity for a double play. They get the first out and they get the second. No problem at all for the Diamond Dogs. And that will retire to side. So a big double play for Mohawk Valley will end things there. When we come back, Mohawk Valley leads off from top of the fifth. Don't go anywhere. We welcome you back here for the top of the fifth inning. New pitcher in for the Utica Blue Sox. It's number 6'7", Smitty Washington. As the kids here were very appreciative to hear that one, as we were able to hear plenty of 6'7s up from the front.
Oh, for sure. Tim, our great PA announcer, purposely pronounced 67 as 6'7". And the viral meme has really swept up all these kids here. It's really everywhere, even if it's almost been a year at this point. It's really awesome to see everybody together right now, and Smitty Washington making his first appearance on the season, so see how he does. So there's a couple pitchers for the Blue Sox that are making their first appearances of the season. In fact, every pitcher is getting on the stat sheet for the first time this morning. First Bailey, then Kobayashi, and now Washington the fourth.
So here is Jake Hardy leading off for Mohawk Valley. He flew out to right and singled and scored a run and stole a base on the day so far. So here's the leadoff to Hardy. He watches that one high for ball number 1 here in the top of the 5th. Game tied at 2. No hits recorded by either side in the 4th inning, so it remains Utica leading in the hits department 3-2. Is that pitch there in for strike 1 to Hardy. And an early error committed by both squads, and since then the fielding's really cleaned up. We've seen a number of great plays out in the field from both squads. Each team sits at 1 error total on this game. So now the 2-1 from Washington. That one's watched up high. And they'll make it 3-1 now to Hardy.
Actually, Smitty Washington has some experience playing in the PGCBL. He was with Geneva last season, so this is their 2nd team in the league.
That one's fouled back, a high foul. It will make its way into the right field bleachers before bouncing into the grass. And a couple of kids running down out of the bleachers to pick that one up.
Oh, I'm sure.
So now full count to Hardy. First time he's faced one today. And that one nearly clips him up high, but he's able to duck out of the way for ball 4. Had a good curve on it, but just not the accuracy. So a leadoff walk for Mohawk Valley here in the top of the 5th. So bring up Brian and Arias, and he has walked and been hit by a pitch on the day, so still 0 for 0 even in the 3rd time around on the order. Excuse me, no, he sacrificed flied and struck out on the day. So he is technically 0 for 2. The pitch is watched in there down the middle for a strike. Utica skewing the infield slightly out to the right. You have the 2nd baseman, Fernsler, playing deep, standing out on the grass roughly. And pickoff attempt there will just keep Hardy at first.
I think what's important for Washington, Killian, is to get that first out, get that confidence in him, making his first start of the season. He wants to get his confidence in him in this start.
So Hardy will take off. The throw is low and not in time, so Hardy is in safely. No trouble there for him. So he steals his 2nd base on the day.
Jake Hardy is a real threat on the base paths, and he's not only a great hitter, but fabulous on the base paths too. One of the best players for the Diamond Dogs all season long.
So now 1-1 to Arias. The pitch is inside, ball 2. And 2nd time we saw Arias on the day was back in the 3rd inning. That was a lengthy at bat. Full count ended in a strikeout. So he now faces the 2-1. Hardy at 2nd following the stolen base. Washington checks back and delivers. Pitch is slightly outside for ball 3.
This is a big at-bat for Washington. He does not want to have 2 on with none out. That would be definitely a tough situation. Throwing strikes here is very important.
So here's Arias now facing the 3-1. And he hits that one right to 2nd, but he can't field it cleanly. And so the runner will stop at the corners. We'll see what they will rule that one as. I'd imagine it will end up as an E4.
Yeah, that was Bowden Fernsler again. He already has 1 error, and that was a very tough play. That was a high bouncing ground ball And I don't think they're going to rule that an error, and I don't mind that distinction.
Yeah, I mean, it's a challenging enough play to where really
Yeah.
anything can go wrong. So they will end up ruling that a hit. So that ends up a base hit for Arias, his first time getting on base today. Runners currently at the corners, Hardy advancing off that base hit. And now a mound visit here as they try to calm down Washington. And this will bring up Brody Frecker. He got hit and walked today, got stranded at third, and was able and got caught stealing in the third inning. So he's had himself an interesting game so far. Been able to get on base consistently, and he's a good base runner. Not really the guy you'd want to be facing in this situation, though, if you're the Blue Sox. Especially with nobody down. So Freaker now trying to give the lead back to the Diamond Dogs. And Mohawk Valley sitting at 2-0 in the season, looking to remain undefeated with a victory today. Utica sitting at 1-1. So the leadoff pitch to Frecker. And instead they will try picking off Arias, who just dives back into first base, no problem. So now the leadoff pitch is watched outside, ball one.
I think for Washington, it's getting weak contact and getting ground ball outs or weak flyouts. If Hardy comes home, that's obviously not ideal, but you don't want this to turn into a big inning and keep the damage concealed.
This one's popped up foul into the foul ground off the first baseline. It'll bounce into the bullpen just before Jacobs is able to get back and catch it. And so now 1-1.
Well, Jacobs, I think he knew that he shouldn't try and catch it because then it would mean a stolen base opportunity.
So now the 1-1, runners on the corners, Hardy on third, Arias on first. And that pitch there outside for ball two. Infield playing about halfway in. Maybe a little tighter on third with Levine. The pitch. Yeah, saw a little bit of movement there from both runners, both anticipating maybe some contact there, but it'll just result in ball three. Now, Washington has to avoid walking the bases loaded. 3-1 coming. And that one swung on, strike two.
2 strikes, fans.
And Frecker, the Taco Bell strikeout man on the day, now facing the prospect of giving all the fans tacos here for full count. 3-2 coming. He holds off, that'll be ball four, and the runner is in safely at second, so wouldn't have mattered. So it'll be a walk there to Frecker. Arias steals. And base is now juiced as Nolan Colby, who re-shun an error and singled in this game so far, comes on up. Colby, an opportunity to break this game wide open for Mohawk Valley. He faces the leadoff pitch. And that one's down the dirt, ball one. Wind progressively picking up here as this game goes on. It was very calm when we arrived here this morning. Slowly evolved to consistent gusts here and there. A 1-0, that one is hit into shallow center, coming on in for it, making the catch. Runners will tag. Oh no, it was dropped.
I wonder if they ruled that Connor Jones had it long enough that he was just transitioning the ball But I don't think that's what they call
I
it.
don't think they did. Yeah, I think they ruled that this was dropped because currently,
Wow.
because standing at first is Colby. This might be the second time on the day that Colby would have reached on an error. Waiting to see what they score at on the scoreboard.
They're saying 1 out. They are saying Jones caught it enough. At least that's what the official score on the scoreboard says. So I think Jones just caught it enough.
Well, I don't know. Because the runner that went to second got caught there. So I think that's what they ended up calling the out, because it would have been bases loaded.
Oh.
What a wacky situation.
It's certainly odd.
So somehow, out of all of this, Colby is currently on second after he steals a base there. His second stolen base on the day. 2 runners in scoring position. 1-0, the pitch inside, ball 2. This is Jake Henning up for Mohawk Valley. He walked and flew out to left in this game so far. And Henning trying to bring in a run. So it is 3-2 Mohawk Valley. So one of the runs did score. That was Hardy, who was able to come home. The 2-1. Inside. And oh no, they called it a strike. So they called that one strikeout. It looked like the umpire was just holding off there for a second, but he ended up giving him the punch out. Strike 3 called. And the first strikeout looking we've seen on the day for both sides.
And so now, 2 away. Smitty Washington, if he gets an out here in this at bat, it can stay a 1-run game. That would be pretty ideal after bases loaded, not out. This would be probably one of the best cases scenario.
The scoreboard's still reading 1 out, but I read 1 out before that strikeout, so we can safely assume there are 2.
Yes.
And this is Wesley Alfonso, who struck out and flew out to left on the day. And Alfonso looks at a pitch on the inside edge for strike 2. So now 0-2 to Alfonso. And an opportunity to get out of the inning here for Washington with only 1 runner allowed. The pitch. That one is grounded to second, fielded cleanly, the throw to first in time, side retired, but the damage is done. 1 run comes in and scores. So Mohawk Valley leads this one 3-2. Bottom of the 5th coming up next. half of this ball game has been played so far. We have 1 half to go, 4.5 innings down, 4.5 to play. 3-2 Mohawk Valley lead, as leading off for Utica is Andrew Johnston, who bunted and reached on fielder's choice back in the second. Johnston leads things off here in the 5th for the Blue Sox, as he watches a pitch there miss for ball 1. It remains Carter Barth on the mound for Mohawk Valley. Barth had a pretty successful inning, gave up 1 single and 1 walk, but was able to get 2 consecutive groundouts to get him out of the inning. As now 1-1 to Johnston. Infielders playing deep, and outfielders leaving a bit of a gap in left center. They've been doing this quite a bit today, as he watches that pitch for ball 2. But in the infield, there's also a big gap in center, so a couple locations here for Justin to try to hit it as he looks at ball 3. Johnston was on base during his first time up in the second now. Second time around in the order today for the Blue Sox. As he chops that one, it'll be fielded by a shortstop. The throw to first is in time. He got him. What a great stretch there by Alfonso to finish that play off after the throw there from Aarons was just a little off target. So here's Adrian Diaz. Diaz grounded to short his first time up in the second inning off of a very lengthy full count at bat. His first time facing Barth. So he watches the first pitch outside for ball 1. The 1-0 to Diaz. And he swings through that pitch for a strike.
What's interesting about this game, Killian, is we haven't seen a lot of extra base hits. We've got some singles, some walks, but the pitchers have really controlled the game.
And that's a bit of what we weren't expecting, because, I mean, Mohawk Valley, they have a team of a number of big power hitters. So it's just not quite something that I personally thought was in the cards for today. I thought this would be a game of a bunch of extra base hits, but like you said, just haven't seen any. As that one skips into the dirt for ball 2. And now 2-2 to Adrian Diaz. Diaz yet to reach base on the day. As the Blue Sox trail 3-2. And he swings through that one, and he is down on strikes. So 1-2 for Barth, looking to finish things off here. Connor Jones up next. He grounded to short back in the second. Jones yet to reach base on the day. So Barth looking to finish off a 1-2-3 inning. A leadoff is in there for a called strike. Infielders still leaving quite a big gap there in the near second. And then a big gap in the outfield and left center. It's been a common theme today for Mohawk Valley. So 1-1 now to Jones.
There's been a lot of balls hit on the infield, not a ton ridden out to the outfield.
As Jones fouls that one out onto the third base side, and it will make its way over the third base grandstand. So now 1-2 and a chance for Barth to go 1-2-3 on the inning. Diaz holds off at one, just slightly missing. 2-2. Excuse me, Jones. 2-2 coming to Jones. He swung on that one. It's down for a base hit. Jones will round first. He will try to go for second. The throw is not in time, and Jones is there. Gets clipped in the leg with the throw. And so good hustle by Connor Jones. It turns into a double.
And the kids love it. They've been looking for that big power, even though that was more of a line drive. There's one of those extra base hits that we haven't seen a lot in the game. Right on cue, Connor Jones gives the kids what they want. I'm sure what Utica wants is to get that third run home and tie the game, or perhaps even more.
So Jones will hand over some of his equipment as he stands on second base. Runner in scoring position now for the top of the order, Michael Flashner.
Flashner is a good hitter to have with a runner on second and 2 out. He's one of the top hitters in the lineup. There's a reason why Coach Gillette has him leading off.
So now the lead off to Flashner. Jones taking a bit of a lead off of second. The pitch is watched down the middle for a strike. Flashner on today bunted into a ground out and beat out a throw on an infield single in the third. Got stranded at third base during that third inning. That pitch is high for a ball. So now 1-1 to Flashner. So he watches that one in there for strike 2. Barth here trying to get out of this one with runner on second. Jones hasn't shown too much in terms of movement. Keeping a relatively close lead on second base. Now he dances off a little bit. A pitch. Low and into dirt. So now 2-2 to Flashner. It's the deepest he's been into an at-bat in this game so far. Likes to attack the opening couple of pitches. Hasn't done that so far in this at-bat in the bottom of the 5th inning. Utica trying to tie this game. The 2-2 is held off on, and strike 3 called. So Flashner down on strikes. It'll retire to side. No run score for Utica, but they do get an extra base hit from Connor Jones. We will be back here in a moment for the top of the 6th. Don't go anywhere. We're back here just in time for the top of the 6th inning. Mohawk Valley back on offense. Utica leading in the hits department. They have 4 compared to Mohawk Valley's 3. However, they also lead in the errors department. 2 errors compared to Mohawk Valley's 1. And that's the story here in this game. Mohawk Valley leads this one 3-2 as they scored a run off of an error in the top of the 5th. So, Morgan, if you're Mohawk Valley here, what do you think the strategy is as you come into these final few innings in this game trying to extend this?
Well, I think it's be patient, because we've seen with some of these relief pitchers for the Blue Sox, they have had a hard time, especially last inning, getting the first runner out. And Smitty Washington did a fabulous job at only allowing that 1 run with the bases loaded but none out. But it came because of the patient hitting of these Diamond Dogs, and they want to keep it that way.
So this is the DH, Aiden Streeter. So he looks at the first pitch for a strike. Streeter struck out and grounded out on the day, 0 for 2. See, it waves at that fastball for another strike. 0-2 now to Streeter as he's quickly falling behind in this count.
It's a good start for Washington. See if he can finish it off here.
That one up high near his head. 1-2. Washington struggled a bit during the last inning. Was able to eventually get out of it. Swing and a miss. He got him. So strikeout there for Streeter. That'll retire him.
That was the best. That was the best sequence for Smitty Washington all season long. I think now that he feels more comfortable on the mound, that he is getting the bearings with his pitches more in this 6th inning, he can feel more comfortable and throw his best stuff. That was some of his best stuff right there.
So here's Santiago now for Mohawk Valley, batting in the 9-hole, struck out in the 2nd and walked in the 4th, then advanced on a wild pitch to 2nd before getting stranded there. The 0-1. So he watches that one there down the middle for a strike.
So the first 2 hitters that Washington has faced in the 6th inning have started in 0-2 counts. That is a recipe for having a quick inning and a scoreless inning.
The pitch. That one's high, 1-2. Looks like he was trying to maybe make him chase there, or maybe get down with a sink a little bit, just never came down.
It was a solid look. Try with that off speed to get a chase, didn't happen. Now he's trying to paint the corner possibly.
1-2. That one's a little too far there, looking for the corner. And now count evened up at 2. 1 out so far for Mohawk Valley, which was a strikeout to Aiden Streeter. In the top of the 6th. The pitch. That one's also high, now full count. So 3 consecutive balls after an 0-2 start for Washington. Trying to put away Santiago. The payoff pitch is swung on and fouled back, and that one will land somewhere in the parking lot. It remains 3-2. We'll do it again.
Let's hope everybody has car insurance. I don't think it went all the way to the parking lot. Probably landed somewhere on the grass.
Somewhere on the pavement back there. Maybe bounced over the fence into the road. You'll never know. That one is taken outside and high, ball 4.
Washington was throwing a couple of those fastballs just a little higher than he did earlier in this inning. That's why it's a walk.
And here's Eric Diaz. He's kind of been held silent tonight so far. He singled in the 1st, and then he's flown out to center twice.
Yeah, Eric Diaz is the key for this Diamond Dog offense. Where he goes, everybody else goes. And he has been, relative to his standards, silent, though he still has a hit.
So the leadoff pitch to Diaz. Taking off for second. The throw is high and into center field. And I mean, if that throw was accurate, it probably would have caught Santiago, as he was not exactly moving all that fast to second base.
And Santiago didn't know the throw was in the outfield. Probably a good idea that he didn't try third, but that was an errant attempt. And I think for the Diamond Dogs, they realize that Diaz has thrown over several times to second base. He has not gotten anybody out yet, so they feel like they can steal several times and take advantage of that.
The pitch. High and outside for ball 2. Diaz hasn't faced anything quite inside the zone so far during this at-bat. Kid's starting to get a little antsy here in Utica.
Yeah.
Understandable, 6th inning. The pitch. And that one swung on. That one's driven deep, but foul. That would have probably made contact with the wall without even a bounce if that had stayed fair.
And that would have scored the 4th run for Mohawk Valley.
easily.
Just if he was a little sooner on that swing, it could have been a 2-run affair.
But instead, it's just 2-1. So Diaz steps off. And we'll think about things for a second and then step back into the batter's box. The 2-1. The delivery from Washington swung on, and that's driven into mid-center. Moving on in is Jones. He makes the catch, and the runner will stay at second base. So for a third time today, Diaz flies out to dead center.
Connor Jones certainly has been busy when Eric Diaz is at the dish.
So here's Jake Hardy, and Hardy, a single and a walk on the day. He's stolen twice. The one time he didn't reach base, he flew out to right. Two down for Mohawk Valley. One in scoring position as that one curves high. Ball one. Santiago standing on second base after stealing it during Diaz's at-bat. Washington checks behind him and will deliver to home. That pitch inside on the fastball, 2-0. Stepping off the mound is Washington, ensuring that Santiago can't take off from second like he did from first earlier on. 2-0 to Hardy. And that time, the pickoff attempt having to make a diving play was Ferns there to keep that one from going into the outfield. So 2 straight pickoff attempts, neither work out. Now to 2-0. Washington checks behind him, delivers to home. That pitch is right down the middle for strike one. Hardy in this game so far. 2 stolen bases. If he's able to get on, he's a dangerous runner. So Utica definitely hoping to sit him down as he fouls this one back. It'll be 2-2, and it nearly kills a couple of fans. That one was a missile down into the right field bleachers.
Luckily, it was an empty bleacher.
A couple kids down there going down to pick that one up. 2-2 now to Hardy. Utica looking to get out of the side. Washington checks behind them one last time. The delivery to home. Swung on and fouled again. And that one will bounce over the fence and roll just not into the street. Was right there, just did not make it all the way in. Would have been the first one on the season that's made its way into the street. So we'll do it again. 2-2 now, Hardy. Santiago on second. The pitch. Holding off was Hardy. Full count now. Looked like he might have thought that that was ball 4 as he stepped forward for a couple of seconds and realized, oh wait, no, just ball 3. It's a full count now to Hardy. Washington, the delivery. And that one gets away. Santiago will go to third. No throw coming, and he slides in easily. Yeah, it looks like he might have injured himself a little bit there. It was slow to get up. He looked a little shaky on that right leg, but he's able to stay on. Might have just nicked it going down on the slide. So runner advances to third on the wild pitch. That was the walk off the full count. So 2 runners on, and now another stolen base. Hardy is in easily. And now for the 3rd time today, Jake Hardy has stolen a base.
The Diamond Dogs know that Diaz hasn't been able to throw anybody out in the base paths, and they are going crazy on the base paths, and it's to their advantage. And now Washington in a spot where he needs to get out here, or else it could be 4-2 or maybe even 5-2 with a big hit.
So 2 consecutive balls to lead off to Arias. Last time he was on, he singled and stole a base. As he watches that one inside now, 3-0. And now Utica all of a sudden in a not very good position. 2 runners in scoring position, and after retiring the first 2 batters of the inning, now Utica facing off against a sticky situation. 3-1 now to Arias. Infielders playing slightly more deep. The pitch is in there, called strike 2. That's 2 straight pitches there that Arias thought should have walked him. But instead, now he has to stay and face a full count. Second full count in 2 batters for the Blue Sox. That one swung on, grounded to second, fielded cleanly, and the throw to first, side retired. So no damage done for Mohawk Valley as PA announcer Tim will play the 6-7 sound effect, much to the delight of the kids. No runs able to come in for Mohawk Valley. It remains 3-2. We'll step aside. We welcome you back here, Utica, coming up for the bottom of the 6th. Blue Sox with 4 hits on the day, 2 errors. They trail 3-2. And so it will be RJ Tomei to lead off. He's walked and struck out swinging on the day, and he will start things off for the Blue Sox in the bottom of the 6th, looking to tie things up. Tomei here facing Barth for a second time today. He watches the first pitch high, ball 1. As he pops up the second offering, that one might land in the field of play. It will not.
It hits onto a chair near the Mohawk Valley dugout.
The Mohawk Valley manager there had to clear the area, so his players didn't come crashing into him. So 1-1 to Tomei. The pitch. And Tomei swings through that one, strike 2. Utica sitting at 0-1 on the year at home, trying to even things out and get back to 500 with their home games as Tomei grounds that one to third for the first out. This will bring up Xavier Smith.
The extra hitter, number
Smith,
10,
we haven't seen
Xavier
since the
Smith.
third inning. He reached on an error and grounded out in the game so far. Smith trying to start things here for Utica, who looked to take back a lead that was stolen from them earlier in the game. First pitch is high strike, or excuse me, for a ball. So Smith on the day was involved in a pretty long at-bat that eventually resulted in that ground out in the third inning. It's his first time of the day facing Barf as he hits that one into left center for a base hit. He will pull in at first and stay there, and so Xavier Smith has his first hit on the day.
Second baseman, number 8, Bowden Fernsler.
So here's Bowden Fernsler. Fernsler grounded out to third twice today. The first and the third, and both times it ended up retiring the side. He comes up here with one down. So here's the leadoff offering by Barf to Bernsler. That one curves in there for a strike. Good motion there on that curveball. Came back in there at the last second. The 0-1. And that one gets away, so Tomei will use that as an excuse to pull in the second. And so advancing on the wild pitch, runner now in scoring position for the Blue Sox.
And Smith went really past the bag to see if he could try and swipe third, but you know, he had some good judgment not to take third because he would have been thrown out definitely, but certainly he was eyeing that third base bag. Maybe he tries to steal here.
So 1-1 here to Fernsler, who swings at that one and pops it up into shallow right. Moving on in is Hardy, and he will make the catch. So Hardy will retire Fernsler. Fly out to right for the second out. So here's Justin Levine. He doubled and flew out to right on the day so far. He's had some powerful contact. See what he can do. First meeting of the season between these two. They'll get to know each other plenty of times throughout the season and end up playing 8 matchups over the course of the year. Here's the leadoff pitch. Holding off on that one was Levine. Ball 1. So 1-0 to Levine. Xavier Smith at second following the stolen base. He watches one come up in on them for ball 2.
And Justin Levine with an RBI chance here. A big 2-out hit would really be the medicine that the doctor ordered for this Blue Sox offense.
Levine hits one into left field, but it will drop for a catch and retired aside. Good line drive there by Levine, just couldn't get it to fall where he wanted. And so that will do it for the bottom of the 6th. No runs, but they will get a hit in that inning. So we will step aside for a moment. 3-2, Mohawk Valley with the lead. Mohawk Valley coming up next.
Let's venture to the top of the 7th, shall we? A new pitcher for the Utica Blue Sox in a 3-2 game in favor of the Diamond Dogs. It is the right-hander Lucas Tucker. He is a sophomore from Mohawk Valley Community College, so he goes to school at Mohawk Valley. Really interesting given the opponent. He is a Whitesboro native, so local to the area, and in a spot for the Blue Sox where he's trying to keep this game a one-run battle.
Some of the classes here starting to slowly trickle out as we've entered the 7th inning stretch, usually time when a lot of these kids will go home on Kids Day Out.
4, 5, and 6 for the hitters in the 7th for the Diamond Dogs. First one is Brody Frecker, and the first pitch from Tucker sails outside. Well, some kids, I don't know if they're going to go back to school or if they're going to go home. Nevertheless, I'm sure they've had a lot of fun today. It's been a really enjoyable experience for all of us. Frecker takes ball 2 from Tucker. So a favorable count for Frecker with the infield playing deep, outfield at normal depth. Got a piece of it to swing and miss around home plate, 2-1.
And of the kids that are left here, they certainly do want their tacos. This is the taco hitter for Mohawk Valley.
If he strikes out, everybody gets free tacos.
Kids are not letting him forget that fact.
Off the end of the bat and foul behind home plate, 2-2.
Well, that's 2 strikes again.
You can just feel the excitement for these kids, just interacting with the players and getting autographs and talking with them. It's just been a really fun experience. 2-2 pitch is laced in the left and foul. Stays 2-2. Nolan Colby is on deck. He'd be followed by Jack Henning. Chance of Taco Bell in the stands for this 2-2. That is in tight as Frecker backs away from the pitch and the count has gone full. Ball 4 outside, and so Frecker takes a walk to lead off the top of the 7th for the visitors.
Some of the players in the Mohawk Valley dugout coming out, waving their arms, no tacos.
Oh, goodness.
It's very...
They were glad to deny the tacos for the kids. Here comes Nolan Colby with 1 on and none away. Lucas Tucker is set. Bunt is placed to the right side. Beautiful bunt. And he reaches safely. Just a rolling ground ball past the mound. Nolan Colby with a textbook bunt, and it goes down as a single.
I mean, not really much you can do as a fielder there. I mean, that is perfect. Gets into exactly the right spot, uses his speed, gets to first base, allows the runner to advance in the scoring position. I mean, every part about that was perfect.
Here comes Jack Henning now. He shows bunt, takes it low. Throw back to second, safe. Frecker looked like he wanted to take off from second, but got back in safely before the tag of Flashner could be applied.
Yeah, Frecker playing a bit of a dangerous game there. Kind of got caught out on the wild pitch. Thought it was a little wilder than it actually was.
1-0 to Henning. Attempts to bunt again and takes another ball. So Tucker in trouble here. 2 on and none away. And the 2-0. Ball 3. So the right-hander really needs to throw a strike here, getting out to prevent Mohawk Valley from continuing to get runners on base. There's a strike. Fastball down the middle of the plate, nice pitch, and it's 3-1. That bunt is placed down. Tucker springs off the mound, fires it over to first to the cheer of the kids for the out. Goes down as a sacrifice as well. That moves 2 runners into scoring position.
Especially with 1 down, that's probably the most ideal play for that situation there. Get the runners in scoring position and bring up Alfonso.
Wesley Alfonso hits the first pitch to right field, and that goes out of play for strike 1. The infield is playing as pulled in as you can get. All anticipating a play at home with Frecker on base at third, 90 feet away from scoring. There's a slow off-speed pitch, a little high, ball 1.
And what a run it would be if they're able to get these 2 in right now. Extended to a 3-run game, and Utica's struggled getting runners in scoring position.
Caught on and missed. That curveball fooled him, and Tucker is trying to climb back into this inning with 1 away, and the count at 1-2. Lucas sets, fires, outside, ball 2. Two balls and 2 strikes. Infield is in. 2 runners on base, both in position to score. The pitch. Swung on and missed. He struck him out. And Lucas Tucker with a big K there is 2 away in the frame.
So now 2 straight batters out for Mohawk Valley. And now, obviously, one of them was the sacrifice bunt that moved the runners forward. This will get Utica into a much better situation here. They feel much more in control as Aiden Streeter comes up.
First pitch waved out and missed. Fly ball, right field. The catch is made by Fernsler from second. And there's out number 3, and so Tucker gets out of it. We're through 6.5, 3-2 Mohawk Valley. we are back here for the bottom of the 7th. Utica trailing Mohawk Valley 3-2. Robbie Carvelli leads off. First pitch called strike. All the kids want the Blue Sox to tie it up or take the lead. Carvelli pushes it on the ground. That's a foul ball to third base. So the count is 0-2 to Robbie Carvelli. And these anxious kids want a big hit. Carvelli steps back in and waits for a 2-strike pitch. Here in the bottom of the 7th, here it comes. He lifts it in the air. Hardy moves over towards the line and dives, and that ball is foul despite him not catching it. So Jake Hardy dove for the ball in foul territory, couldn't make the catch. It is still 0-2, and the at-bat will continue.
I'm sure Carvelli's not going to be too pleased about that. That was just barely over the line. And I mean, that, with the fielder being down like that, I mean, that could have easily gotten him to at least second. But unfortunately, the ball just a little too far to the right.
No balls and 2 strikes the count. Here it comes. Carvelli takes high. Ball 1. Jacobs is on deck. 1-2. Outside on a slide, Santiago. 2-2 now as the crowd grows into a fever pitch. This is the loudest I've seen them all day. The 2-2 pitch coming to Carvelli. And he lifts one into right center field, and what a catch by the diving Diaz for out number 1.
And that just killed all the crowd's momentum right there. But I mean, what a catch. He comes over from dead center, dives and picks that one out of the air. It's a beautiful catch there to retire Carvelli.
Here comes Alex Jacobs with 1 out, none on in the 7th. And the Let's Go Blue Sox chants are back in full force. And the first pitch is in tight to Jacobs as he had to get away from that pitch. One and 0, the pitch off the end of the bat and foul right around home plate. What do you get when hundreds of kids are shouting one thing at the same time? You get loud. The support is there for the Blue Sox.
You can also amend that question to, what do you get when you get hundreds of kids all jumping at the same time? You get a very shaky grandstand.
We can feel it up here in the booth. 2-1. That misses the spot outside. Jacobs has a favorable count, 3 balls and a strike on him. The 3-1 pitch is outside, ball 4. And the tying run is on base with 1 away.
Designated hitter number 19, Andrew Johnston.
Here comes Andrew Johnston, the designated hitter, with 1 on and 1 away.
So this is Brandon Lynn in that pitcher for Mohawk Valley. One walk and 1 flyout so far here in his tenure.
First pitch to Johnston is in the air, left field, way back, and that gets over the head of Frecker. It is a scorching double by Johnston. He reaches second base and delights the crowd. 2 on, second and third, 1 out. A comeback is brewing for the Blue Sox.
Well, that was a much-needed hit right there. They've been looking for this the entire game, and finally able to break one there. Now 2 runners in scoring position. This is something we haven't seen that much from Utica today. It's usually Mohawk Valley with the runners in scoring position. Let's see what the Blue Sox can do. They haven't scored any runs since the second. Could this be the point right here? They lead in the category of hits with 6. Hoping that this will be their moment right here as Mohawk Valley now just trying to calm themselves down. Because right now the Blue Sox have taken all of the momentum, and even as this crowd starts to dwindle, as some schools send their kids back onto the buses to go back to school, the energy from the rest of them still carries over.
Here comes Adrian Diaz with an RBI chance. Jacobs at third, Johnston at second. Diaz shows bunt and softly pushes it to the right side, and that goes out of play, foul. What do you think about this possible foul bunt? Just bunt attempt for Diaz, just trying to get a sacrifice and get a run home. You like the idea?
I do. I mean, you tied a game, all the momentum's on your side, you got the crowd on your side, you still have 1 out left. I like the idea here of going for a bunt.
Well, now it's 0-2 on that foul liner. So if Diaz tries bunt and fouls it away, he's out. So certainly would be risky to square up. Crowd is in unison. They want their Blue Sox to score. 0-2, the pitch. And Diaz slowly hits one, and that is foul. That's a foul ball, no run scores. Jacobs has to move back to third.
That one just barely ended that foul. It's the second time here in the bottom of the 7th that a ball is just barely gone foul for the Blue Sox.
Adrian Diaz prepares to step back into the batter's box with a big at-bat. Still in progress. 0-2 the count. Second and third. 1 away. 7th inning. The pitch. Outside. Ball 1. Into the mid of Santiago. The infield is tugged in. Outfield is playing mostly at normal depth. Swing and a miss. Santiago fires over to first. He one-hops it, but gets it in time to Alfonso for out number 2. And so now the Blue Sox, if Connor Jones is out here, they don't get a single run home. That will be difficult for a team that's had some real offensive momentum in this inning. Connor Jones does not want to even think about that possibility, though.
Well, Jones doubled back in the 5th. So we know he's got the power. He's able to make contact.
Connor Jones swings at the first pitch and comes up empty 0-1.
And if there's ever a time for a big hit, this is it right here.
Second and third. 2 out. The pitch. Bounced it low. Count is even. 1-1. The 1-1 pitch. Off the end of the bat, charging is heading. His throw is in time, and the Blue Sox strand 2. We are through 7 innings as Utica trails Mohawk Valley 3-2. We are back here for the 8th inning as the Blue Sox strand 2 in a disappointing inning. And what kind of pressure does it put on the pitchers, Killian, if the offense isn't consistent with getting runners in scoring position home?
Well, you feel like you have to be perfect, right? And I mean, that's always something that a pitcher feels like. They feel like they have to do to their best of their ability enough to keep runs off the board, but especially in this situation, you're already down a run. If the hole gets bigger in a game like this, I don't know if you'll have the confidence in your hitting core to back you up. So
first pitch was a 1-0. That ball gets past Levine. He's angry about it, but he just committed an error.
Errors have been issues today for Utica. Our 3rd error on the day here in the top of the 8th.
To the top of the order with Eric Diaz, the center fielder. Throw to first, not in time. Some really passionate fans here screaming, "Let's go Blue Sox." It's a tight game, but for a while, it's been Mohawk Valley's game. They've led 3-2 for a bit now. Lucas Tucker still on the mound for his 2nd inning. There's a strike. 0-1.
This is now, I believe, the 5th time around the order today for Mohawk Valley. Diaz has flown out 3 times and singled once. Now attempt number 5.
Another pickoff attempt. He's skipped into first. Jacobs blocks it, no chance to get him out. So 2 pickoff attempts for Lucas Tucker. Defensively for the Blue Sox, they've got Levine playing close to the grass near the mound, and you got Flashner playing at normal depth. Runner takes off. Throw gets into the outfield. And the running Diamond Dogs continue to swipe bases. Stolen base for Jaden Santiago.
It's his 2nd stolen base on the day. Santiago and Hardy have been the 2 base stealers on the day, and Colby as well. Plenty of base stealers on this squad for the Diamond Dogs.
1-1 pitch upcoming from Tucker. It's high, getting Diaz to come out of his crouch. 2-1. Santiago stands at 2nd. Might he try and steal 3rd here? That's not out of the realm of possibility. We'll watch him. He has a lead on at 2nd, but Flashner is playing him pretty close. Ball 3. 3-1 the count to Eric Diaz. Here on Kids Day Out. Some kids still here getting autographs, talking with their friends, enjoying the ball game. Some have already left for school, but still had a fun time indeed. And it's been really fun to soak in this atmosphere with all the kids really enjoying the game. Throw down to Flashner, who tries to get Santiago napping. Didn't happen. A beautiful day, not too hot, not too cold, light breeze. Good ball game. Mohawk Valley leading Utica 3-2. DeFernsler plays it on a couple of bounces. He guns it over to Jacobs for out number 1, but in the process that gets Santiago to advance to 3rd.
Hardy's been a tough out on the day for Utica. A single, 2 walks.
Cut on and missed, 0-1. Santiago is at 3rd. In the air, Jones tries to have a beat on it. Coming in instead is the right fielder, Tomey, to make the catch. And That keeps Santiago put at third base. So now 2 out. And Tucker has a chance to get out of the frame with no runs allowed. Here comes Brian Arias to hit. 2 out, Santiago's at third, so an RBI opportunity still, but it's not going to be easy with 2 away, so no sacrifice. First pitch, down the middle for strike number 1. Infield's playing back except for Levine at third. Ball 1, upstairs. Diamond Dogs attempting to go to 3-0 with a big win on the road. The Blue Sox seek to go to 2-1 after their win last night at Glens Falls and pick up their first home victory of the year here at Donovan Stadium at Murnane Field. 1-1 pitch is a strike. Caught the inside edge, 1-2. So now here's Lucas Tucker on the mound. He attempts to keep this game 3-2, which is exactly what he set out to do when he stepped on the mound here in this inning. Can he do that on this 3-2? He might very well, as Jones moves over to his right. Instead, it's going to be Carvelli, the left fielder, to haul in the flyout. And the inning is over for the Diamond Dogs. The Blue Sox will bat next, 3-2 Mohawk Valley. We're back here at Donovan Stadium at Murnane Field as Kids Day Out winds to its conclusion. Brandon Lynn still on the mound, the new Hyde Park native back. And the bump. And Michael Flashner leads off in the inning.
This will be the 4th time around the order today for Utica. Flashner, a single, strikeout looking, and a ground out on the day so far.
Lynn v. Flashner, 3-2 game. First pitch is in there for strike number 1. So most of the kids filing out by now. They got to go back to school or home or wherever. That pitch gets away for a ball, 1-1. But it was really fun to see all these kids enjoying the game. And it just goes to show the community that the Blue Sox bring and the enjoyment that can be had for everybody. That's strike 2 on the inside corner.
Something interesting about the school that's left, Remsen, they were the first school to arrive today. They showed up at about 9 o'clock sharp.
They have taken it all in. All the schools have, but them particularly. That's ball 2 outside to Flashner. Blue Sox scored in the second and haven't since. So they've been waiting a long time to get that third run home, as they currently trail by 1. Flashner takes it upstairs for ball number 3, and the count has run full.
You know, Flashner is a dangerous base stealer. If he can get himself on base here, could mean trouble for Mohawk Valley.
3-2 pitch is lined off the glove of Arias into left center field. Taking the wide turn and retreating back to first is Michael Flashner, and he has himself a spot at first base. I don't know if they're going to call it an error. That was a really wickedly hit shot to Arias.
So looks like that will on the scoreboard's being ruled on as an error.
Okay.
Because the E is up on the H/E portion of the board.
RJ Tomei steps in. Michael Flashner is at first. Certainly a base stealing threat. And he takes off. Pitches inside. The throw down to second. The tag is late. And Michael Flashner swipes second base.
Yeah, not really much trouble there to throw, like you said, late, but he was already fully in the base by the time the throw even got to the glove.
It wasn't particularly close. Both teams have used base stealing to their benefit this morning and afternoon. 1-0 the count. Throw over to second. Flashner escapes any danger. So it's clear Lynn is very much aware of Michael Flashner. He's tried to pick him off at first. He's tried to catch him napping at second. And now the 1-0 pitch is into the other batter's box. So not only does Lynn have to contend with Flashner, the tying run at second base, he's got the count not in his favor, 2-0 to RJ Tomei. Here comes the pitch, and a mile-high pop-up on the infield. Who will get it? It'll be the second baseman, Colby, to put it away for out number 1. Here is the X-Man, Xavier Smith. Can he be the one to drive home the third run for the Blue Sox? He has a chance with Flashner at second, and his speed, a single probably scores Michael Flashner.
And his last time up, he did single, ended up getting all the way to second base, advanced off of a wild pitch before getting stranded there.
Another one way high in the air. Foul territory. It's Santiago on a knee to haul in the out, and that's 2 quick outs for the Blue Sox. And now it's Bowden Fernsler. Can he be the one to get the RBI? And if he does, there'll be Burger King for those who want it. Bowden steps in, Flashner's at second. Another pop-up. This one will go out of play, though. So it's clear that Lynn's pitches are flummoxing the Blue Sox hitters because they're just popping them all up right now. There's been a shift in Lynn's delivery.
Yeah, Utica, they just kind of seem off on their timing. With every single one of these last few pitches, they've been able to make contact, but the timing just has not been there.
On the ground, Henning fields it, but foul. The count, no balls and 2 strikes with 2 out. Seemed promising that Flashner would score with nobody out and him on second, and now 2 out. There's ball 1. but instead it's a little bit more precarious of whether he would touch home, which would still happen on a single or more. 1 ball, 2 strikes the count. Here it comes. That is way inside. So Fernsler has to take a step away after that ball. Felt like a little bit of chin music. Count even at 2-2. The pitch from Lynn. And that pitch is lined into center field. Base hit. Here comes Flashner to score. And the game is tied.
There's your free prize, ladies and gentlemen.
Bowden Fernsler with an RBI single. He's had RBI hits in both the home games so far. And finally, that 3rd run for the Blue Sox
Third baseman number 6
comes home.
Justin Levine.
Here comes Justin Levine.
And Levine, we know, had that double earlier on in the game. He's been able to make contact. Let's see if he can do it here.
Almost got his head, that pitch from Lynn, and Levine out to duck away. So the count 1-0, 2 out. Big 2-out hit by Fernsler. Pickoff attempt to first, not in time.
Stop it.
Lynn. Ready. Throws. Foul tipped at home. Strike 1.
It certainly got much more quiet here now that all the students have started clearing out.
For sure. But the energy on the field has remained the same. And that fun has persisted that the kids have helped bring to the field today. Another pickoff attempt to first. Not in time.
Okay.
Justin Levine. Waits for the pitch, and he lines it down the left field line, just foul.
Yeah, that one looked like it wanted to stay fair there for most of its life, then at the last second just dipped on over, ended up 3 or 4 feet past the foul line.
So the count now has changed to 1 ball and 2 strikes after that foul ball. What can Levine make of this? Still some chance of let's go Blue Sox from the students left. Levine wants to make them happy. On the ground, foul, left side. And Levine is staying alive on a couple fouls. Here on this Monday afternoon, great game, tied at 3, bottom 8. That is just off the plate for ball 2. That was a close pitch, and Levine took a risk in letting it go by, but he got the benefit of the call there.
Yeah, it looks like Levine initially thought that that was in there for a strike. You saw him look up to the sky for a second, then you realized, oh, wait, nope, I'm not going to call that strike. All right, perfect, I'm still in this.
Could Levine take advantage of that break? 3-2. Another ball. No, they're going to call that strike 3. Levine was moving out of the way like it was ball 3. Instead, it's strike 3. So, the Blue Sox get 1, but can't take the lead. We head to the 9th inning in a tie game. To the 9th inning we go in a brand new ball game. 3 runs for the Blue Sox, 3 runs for the Diamond Dogs, and we got a new pitcher. It is Joey Kafka. The right-handed sophomore stands at 6'1". He goes to Valparaiso. And he was a 2-team all-conference and all-area selection at prep school in Illinois.
Left fielder, number 19, Brody Frecker.
Here comes Brody Frecker.
Will go home to the coupon free taco, courtesy of Taco Bell, and for you forget.
So Nirvana fanatic Joey Kafka steps on the mound and is ready. If he pitches a scoreless inning, that sets up a walk-off opportunity for the Utica Blue Sox. First pitch misses the zone outside, ball number 1.
Well, Utica, now that they've gotten that run that they need to tie the game, the worst thing they can do here is obviously let Mohawk Valley get the lead back, but the worst thing you can do here is give Mohawk Valley momentum. Because if you are the Blue Sox to tie game, you just don't want to let Mohawk Valley get a number of base runners here, make things take longer. Might make it a little harder for them to try and walk it off in the bottom of the 9th.
Count is 2-1. Infield's playing back, especially Fernsler at second. Swing and a miss, 2-2 on Brody Frecker. If he strikes out, we got free tacos for everybody. Way high over his head, ball 3.
That one's certainly not going to be getting any tacos there.
No. Maybe this next pitch will from Joey Kafka. He threw a really nice pitch last time. They got the swing and miss. See what happens here on this full count offering. Into right field past Fernsler. That's a base hit. And so Frecker is on as the go-ahead run. And no tacos, at least free tacos. I'm sure you can get tacos if you go to Taco Bell right now. They're not going to stop you.
I mean, I imagine they're open at 12:55 p.m.
Oh, yeah, I would think so.
On a Monday.
Second baseman Nolan Colby is the hitter. He shows bunt and pushes it down to the mound. Kafka checks second. Instead throws it over to first and gets out number 1. So that advances Frecker over to second, so a sac bunt for Nolan Colby. Here comes Jack Henning with the stick. So 1 on, it's Frecker at second. That's a big run because if he scores here and the Diamond Dogs take the lead, there's only 1 opportunity, 1 inning, the bottom of the 9th for the Blue Sox to respond. First pitch, just a little high on the fastball off the corner, ball 1.
Utica's got to play this carefully here, you know. Frecker likes to steal. One for 2 shot to see him take off.
Yeah, Frecker holds, there's ball 2. Kafka's going to be really careful. Wesley Alfonso is the man on deck. Ball 3. So quickly, Kafka losing control of this at-bat to Henning. He's trying to get back in it. Frecker patrols second. Would he really dare try and go for third? Wouldn't put it past him, as Killian said. Down the middle of the plate there, strike 1. Henning took it all the way. 3-3 game, really good ball game, 9th inning. Kids from all across central New York here in the ballpark, taking in the spectacle of Donovan Stadium at Murnane Field. And it's been a really fun afternoon. 3-1 the count. Here comes the pitch. And that ball is laced right to second. Fernsler throws it over to first. There's 2 out. That moves Frecker up to third, but if Wesley Alfonso can be retired here, that won't matter.
Well, it's a good play there for the Blue Sox. They definitely needed to get that out. Now you got a bit of a safety net here almost in the case of the sacrifice fly.
And any flyout wouldn't be a sacrifice. Swing and a miss from Alfonso. Well, Wesley Alfonso's had a similar situation where the Diamond Dogs could have really scored and put a hurt on the Blue Sox early. He had the bases loaded, and Bailey struck him out. This is a situation where Frecker scores. Diamond Dogs have the lead. Swing and a miss, 0-2. Gafka's 1 strike away from getting out of the inning and giving the Blue Sox a chance to walk it off with just 1 run. On the ground, a shortstop. It is knocked down by Flashner. His throw is in time. Nice recovery by Michael Flashner, as it looked like it could be disaster as the ball clinked off his glove, but he recovered. He fired a first, and Frecker is not going to score. We go to the bottom of the 9th. If the Blue Sox win, it will be in a walk-off. Stay with us. To the bottom of the 9th we go, and the Blue Sox have a chance to walk it off for their first home win of the year and first walk-off victory of the 2026 campaign. And the new pitcher for Mohawk Valley trying to send this game into the 10th is the right-hander, Matt Couric. Goes to Fairfield. He's from Summit, New Jersey. Here's Robbie Carvalli, 6'7", 8" for the Blue Sox, with a chance to win. First pitch from Couric is down the middle, strike 1.
Let's see how aggressive Utica is with their swinging here in the bottom of the 9th. If they're going to try to hold off a little more, maybe draw some walks, or try to go for the big hit.
On an 0-1, there's a fly to right, out of play, past the visiting dugout. Infield is playing back near the outfield grass for the Diamond Dogs. Outfield straight away. Couric with the 0-2 pitch. That is upstairs on the fastball. 1-2 now the count to Robbie Carvalli. Can he be the hero for the Blue Sox? He has a chance. A 1-2. Swung on and missed. And the tag is applied at home plate by Santiago for out number 1.
First baseman, number 16, Alex Jacobs.
Here comes Alex Jacobs sauntering to the dish with 1 out in the bottom of the 9th. After him, it will be Johnston. And if either one reach base, Diaz. Kirk looks straight on, now in his wind, and here's the pitch. Lined right behind home, 0-1. We have a soft wind coming in from the east. Blue skies, beautiful puffy clouds, just a gorgeous day for a ball game, and it's been a good one. 3-3 affair, bottom of the 9th. Blue Sox looking to walk it off here. And the 0-1 pitch. Misses high. And the count goes even 1-1. Matt Couric with a 1-1 pitch, and that misses a little low and wide into the glove of his catcher, Santiago. So the count slightly in the favor of Alex Jacobs. But can he take advantage of that and get on base here? Two-one pitch, waved at and missed for strike 2.
Jacobs yet to have a hit on the day. He's gotten hit by a pitch, walked, and walked again on the day.
Here comes the 2-2. Swing and a miss, struck him out. There's 2 gone.
Designated hitter number 19, Andrew Johnston.
Here is Andrew Johnston, the hitter. Two out, none on in a tie game. There's a strike. 0-1 to the Canadian.
Hit a double his last time up, so we know he's got that power in him.
He does. But can he come through with the stick here? On this 0-1, he looks at a pitch wide, and that evens the count. 1-1. Sun shining on the diamond here in Utica on this great day for a ball game. Can the Blue Sox win it here in the 9th? They need a little magic with 2 gone. Strike 2, it's 1-2. Blue Sox are down to their final strike in the 9th inning. Otherwise, it'd go to a 10th inning if Utica can't score here with 2 men gone. Couric is ready. Stares into home. He throws in tight. Ball 2. That backed away Johnston, so he has to take a quick step out of the batter's box before stepping back in. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out, tie game, bottom 9. The pitch from Couric is just inside, ball 3.
That one had some good motion on it, but it was a little too late. If it made that curve back over just a little bit earlier, that would have been strike 3 and the inning would have been over, but a little extra life here.
If Johnston gets on base, Diaz would be the hitter. 3 balls and 2 strikes is the count, and Couric hits the knob of the bat almost, and they're going to say that it's ball 4. Because if it hit the knob of the bat, it would be a foul ball, so they say it hit Johnston. And Adrian Diaz has an opportunity here to win it. An extra base hit could do the job with Johnston at first now. That last pitch by Couric hit around the elbow area, so that's what they deem to be the hit by pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike one. Fans in attendance want a home run. That would be an electric way to walk it off. But can Diaz muster it? Johnston inching past the first base bag, doesn't run, swing and a miss, 0-2. Connor Jones is on deck. Can Diaz come through? Situation isn't exactly favorable. He's got 2 strikes on him and there's 2 away. And Couric fires. That ball reaches the backstop. Johnston's trying to take second, and he does. And all of a sudden, that means that a single could get Johnston home as the winning run. That completely changes the alchemy of this 9th inning. 1 ball and 2 strikes the count. Johnston is now at second base. In the 9th, a tie game. Matt Couric trying to send this game to extra innings. Swing and a miss. And we go to the 10th. Tie game at 3 here at Donovan Stadium. We are back here in the 10th inning. Tied at 3. Joe Crenshaw is the first hitter. Joey Kafka is still on the mound. That pickoff throw is into second. And Wild
and they had the opportunity to get the pickoff there, but the throw, just like you said, inaccurate, went off the arm of the runner on second.
And Crenshaw gets hit. So a tough way for Kafka's 10th inning to begin. So Alfonso at second and Crenshaw at first. In the 10th inning, both teams get a runner automatically placed on at second, like in the major leagues in the regular season. Santiago shows bunt. Kafka motions over a throw to second, but doesn't actually pull the trigger. And if the game remains tied after 10 innings, we will have a tie. That ball pops out of the glove of Diaz, and it's ball one. Pressure is on Kafka right now, Killian.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, especially after the hit by pitch to start off the 10th with nobody down, 2 runners on. Really, you got to avoid the bunt firstly.
Here comes the bunt. Levine charges, fires to first for the out.
They got 2 in scoring position here. And for Utica, this is going to be a bit of a curious situation. How do they try to handle this? Do they try to attack the zone, or do they try to make them chase? A lot of ways they could go with this here, but this could decide the game.
Here comes Eric Diaz, the leadoff hitter. He is not somebody you want to see if you're Joey Kafka when you want to get out of the 10th unscathed. The infield is pulled in for Doug Dillette's Blue Sox.
So it looks like they intentionally walked, maybe?
That looks like it.
You guys elected to intentionally walk Diaz.
Indeed, Diaz is intentionally walked. So now it is Jake Hard. So that leaves force plays across the diamond. Inside, ball one.
That one came awfully close there to maybe clipping hard on the way in.
So the objective for the defense is if you get the ball, throw home, no need to tag because it's a force. Strike one. And that would be 2 out in that scenario. And then maybe you could still get the out at first as well. One and one, the pitch from Kafka is a slow roller. Levine moves in, underhand shovels to home, safe! And the Diamond Dogs take the lead. It's 4-3 Mohawk Valley.
So
Does Coach Gillette maybe want to take a look at this? He's talking with the home plate umpire. This is obviously a huge run and a huge moment.
well, you saw it heading immediately, or excuse me, you saw Levine immediately come in and touch the umpire. I don't know if he was saying that he tagged them or what the argument was, but nothing will come of it. So now
I don't think they're going to change the ruling.
runner is safe, so it'll
Yep.
be 4-3.
Shortstop number 17,
Brian
Brian Arias.
Arias, the hitter. There's a strike. 10th inning, it's now 4-3 Mohawk Valley. In a great game. Diamond Dogs threatening for even more with still 1 away. 1-1 the count. The bases are loaded in the extra inning. Kafka with a 1-1. There's a strike. 1-2. Can Kafka at least keep it 4-3 and give the Blue Sox a chance to have 2 runs win the game? Off the end of the bat and foul. One and two, and the tension is high. As Brian Arias steps back in to the batter's box. Brody Frecker is on deck. Swing and a miss. Struck him out. There's 2 down in the 10th inning. Big out for Kafka. Can he get the final one retired without allowing any more runs to score? Here's Brody Frecker.
Again, Frecker is your Taco Bell Canine. If he strikes out, everyone attends goes over the coupon for a free taco.
Free tacos if Frecker strikes out, but I'm sure that's back of the mind for Kafka. He just wants to get him out any way he can. That's lined towards home and foul.
Yeah, I think the free taco is just a little added bonus on top of it.
Sure it is.
If you get the out here, like you said, only makes it a 1-run game, makes still a tie, and obviously even winning the game within reach.
Jones moves back on that fly ball to center field. He makes the catch. So Kafka allows 1 run, but that's all. So the Blue Sox, they don't really want to tie it. It would be better than a loss, but they want to go for the win. They need 2 runs to do it. We'll be back in the bottom of the 10th. The pitcher tasked by the Diamond Dogs to get the save in the bottom of the 10th is Dean Daddio. Daddio in the opener against Boonville. Pitched an inning and allowed 2 runs, 1 earned, and struck out 1. This is his biggest leverage performance of the season.
From Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, for Christian Cerrone.
Christian Cerrone now comes up as a pinch hitter.
He's in as a pitch runner, actually, on second.
Oh, yes, exactly right, pinch runner.
Number 1, Connor Jones.
So they're going to put Cerrone on at second. They had him as a pinch runner in the opener, but he didn't come around and score in the 9th inning. Here's Connor Jones. So pardon me, it's Cerrone at second as a pinch runner. 1 run to tie, 2 to win. Daddio with his first pitch of the 10th. He doesn't make it. He turns towards second. And that's an interesting choice, at least Jones, to bluff a bunt, whether he would actually lay it down or not. Because you need 2 to win. It looks like they'd be playing for 1 with the sacrifice.
Well, I mean, obviously the main goal is to not come away with a loss. So I think if you get the tie, then that gets you to a point, and then from there you can turn your focus on to winning the game. Right now, Utica just wants to tie this one up, so at worst, the game can conclude in a tie, because obviously after 10 innings, the game's over.
1 ball and no strikes the count. Cerrone, the pinch runner at second. There's ball 2. So a couple of pitches outside the zone for Daddio. He's looking to find his spot. Jones hopes he doesn't. 2-ball pitch. on the ground. Shortstop, tough play at first base. The ball gets away. Dashing home is Cerrone. He scores. Jones is into second.
That is a huge mistake there for Mohawk Valley. That's got to be an accurate throw in this stage of the game. You can't afford to just have something like that happen. And now all of a sudden, it's a tie game. Utica now can stop worrying about the loss. They can now focus on trying to walk this one off. Nobody out.
The shortstop, number 5, Michael Flashner.
Here's Michael Flashner at the top of the order. A hit wins the game, in all likelihood. Connor Jones is the winning run, leading off at second base. Daddio has blown the save, but can he keep this game as a tie? There's a strike. There's no way for Mohawk Valley to win it. The only team that can win this game and has that opportunity in front of them is Utica. They count 0-1. Daddio ready, lowers the glove to his belt. The pitch is outside off the top corner, 1-1.
It's just not wanting to put anything inside the zone that can get bunted. Just trying to keep things close here and not let Utica get that free bunt, get the runner to third. Trying to make him chase.
1-1. Bunt is not laid down as that ball is guided outside by the arm of Daddio. So now the sacrifice move to bunt and then try for a sacrifice, fly or ground out. That makes more sense because you're trying to win the game. There's no 11th inning. 2-1. The bunt is down. Daddio picks it up, fires to first. The throw is high, and it got Alfonso to go off the mound, and so he's safe. Flashner reaches base on the bunt. And moving over to third, more importantly, is Connor Jones. There are still kids in the ballpark, and they have watched a dandy of a game. And right now, the entire infield of the Diamond Dogs are going to have a mound conference, and these kids may very well see a walk-off. There's none out, and there's 2 on, and the winning run is 90 feet away from scoring.
Well, Morgan, we saw something like that happen earlier today where the throw was just off target, pulled the runner off the bag, and it happens again. It strikes at the worst possible time for Mohawk Valley. This is now 2 critical mistakes here in the bottom of the 10th, and they may well have handed this game over to Utica, because really all Utica's going to need to do here is just get decent contact and give the runner enough time to try for home. And even if they don't get it, it's technically not the end of the world. I mean, nobody out. There's plenty of opportunity here for Utica. Odds seem to be in their favor. Mohawk Valley feeling the pressure here, so they'll call this mound visit.
Here's R.J. Tomei stepping up to Michael Jackson's bat. He wants to do good right here and walk it off. And Tomei will be intentionally walked, so the bases are now loaded. That sets up force plays around the diamond and brings up the extra hitter, Xavier Smith.
The extra hitter, number 10, Xavier Smith.
A walk would end the game, so would a hit by pitch. First pitch cut and a miss for Xavier. Jones at third is the winning run. Flashner at second, Tomei at first. The 0-1 pitch tepidly makes his way to home plate, but it's called strike 2. That was a slow off-speed offering, and it was effective from Daddio. 0-2 pitch, hacked at and fouled, the right now to play. Bowden Fernsler would hit next for the Blue Sox. If Smith doesn't win the game right here. There's a ball inside, 1-2.
That one came dangerously close to hitting Smith there.
It did.
Only maybe an inch or two away from his leg.
One-two pitch from Daddio. Outside in the glove of Santiago, and it's 2-2. Now the threat of a walk creeps in. Bases loaded, none out in the bottom of the 10th. Blue Sox trying to win the game. Smith pushes it in the air. Frecker is moving back. He waits and makes the catch. He spins and hauls a throw home. It's late. Connor Jones scores. The Blue Sox win it. The first home win of the year is a walk-off win. The final score in 10 innings on Kids Day Out. The Utica Blue Sox 5, the Mohawk Valley Diamond Dogs 4. What a game, Killian.
Absolutely. I mean, Utica, they looked down and out multiple times in this game, and now they get to celebrate by triggering the 6-7s and the scubas from the kids. But what an ending there by Utica. I mean, it was a game where they struggled to get runners on base. They were able to do it at the perfect time, and they close this one out and take down Mohawk Valley 5-4 and hand them their first loss of the season.
I have to say, the offense obviously made some big plays. The 10th inning was the key example, but these pitchers, though they gave up 4 runs, yes, Kafka gave up a run in the 10th, but what I saw from these pitchers and this staff today is that they didn't let it get out of control. They didn't allow multiple runs. They didn't let the inning get away from them and have the Diamond Dogs put up a crooked number. They kept it to a minimum, and that gave their offense a chance to respond. And in the 10th inning, in the last possible moment, they did.
Absolutely. And I think if you're Mohawk Valley in this game, you look back at this one and you think about those key mistakes that cost them and let Utica get runners on base. Now, Utica, they had their own share of mistakes that gave Mohawk Valley runs. There was one mistake in specific, the drop in the outfield. That one led directly to a run in this game, but Mohawk Valley had the opportunity to put this one away a couple times here in the 10th and just missed the throw or got pushed off the bag. And so that's really what this game's going to come down to here, Morgan. Just Mohawk Valley not being able to get the outs they needed, and eventually this one comes to a close with Utica taking the win.
The next time Blue Sox will face the Diamond Dogs, it'll be June 16th at Mohawk Valley. The next time the Diamond Dogs will come to Donovan Stadium at Murnane Field will be in July, exactly a month from now, July 1st. The next game for the Blue Sox is tomorrow at Boonville. The next game at home will be also against Boonville. That will be June 6th. Any closing thoughts, Killian?
Only really closing thought I have in this one is just for Utica, this is a big win in terms of momentum at home. They were facing being 0-2 to start the year at home, and getting the win in this one, I'm sure, really feels sweet, especially after the night they had last night. I'm sure they'll go into their rest day very happy, and then obviously they got a couple straight road games here, but they'll take the momentum onto the road. Be really exciting to see where they go here.
A really fun ball game, a fun atmosphere. So great to see all the kids here, and it was a walk-off win in the end in 10 innings for the Utica Blue Sox. Their first home win of the year was a really exciting one. Xavier Smith, the hero, with a sacrifice fly, scoring Connor Jones. Final score once more, 5-4 Blue Sox. That will do it for this broadcast. The next time you will hear from us will be June 6th. The next time you can see your Blue Sox will be tomorrow at Boonville. Thank you so much for listening. For our producer, Louis Leibowitz, and my partner, Killian Heffron, I'm Morgan Spriggs. Thank you so much for listening, and have a wonderful rest of your Monday afternoon and night, everybody. Thank you so much for listening.